Hey, what's up? How's it going, Mr. Judd? How's it going, Mr. Robert? How's it going, Mr. Jonathan? How's it going, everybody? We're getting started for the Saturday night stream. All right, I stayed up a little extra late with Cares tonight, as I tend to do on the weekends. We're going live for Saturday night. Okay, copy that. Good. We're waiting for Monday. Hopefully Monday we get our Pitch Black. We don't have it yet. But we have lots of other cool things going on. A lot of cool slab breaks. A lot of cool non-Pokemon sets. A lot of vintage. The Poke Shuffles. The live customs. So we got a lot of stuff we can play around with. Until then, I wonder how popular Pitch Black will be. I mean, how many people really love Darkrai? It's a Darkrai set. We're going to hit save on that. I want that unknown. He is a 1 in 4 break. He graded tag 9. It's a Diamond Pearl holographic card. Really lovely. I set that up for Mr. Brett because Brett said he liked unknown cards. I don't know if he's here watching. There we go. Hopefully he sees it before it goes off. We're grabbing this. We're grabbing this guy. Okay. And now let's go ahead and pin the website. Scooby-Dooby-Doo. Mister, I'm going to sell most of my collection. When I do, I'll buy something more big cards. I'm trying to get rid of small items. Yeah, people very frequently do that. They get tired of some portion of their collection, they sell it, and then they try to buy something new. So I hope you have a good time with that. I do that too, actually. Sometimes I look at my cards and I say, I don't even need this one. All right. So that's done, that's done. Ooh, let me go ahead and fix this. Okay. Hey, it's Mr. Thim. What's up, man? All right, so I actually want to see how that video was doing. Grabbing this. I was just watching not a political analyst, a war analyst. And he was talking about the war with Iran. And it was fun. I enjoyed it. I thought, ooh, perfect. If we could just get more of this. So my private collection is up to 1.6 thousand views, huh? Cool. All right, not a crazy amount, but still not nothing either. Let's go ahead and delete this. I remember back in the day when I'd get like 100,000 views. Let me delete this. 100,000 views on TheCardconomist. Whew. I'll delete this. Payment received from Jose Arredondo. It says, I got this 6 hours ago, $41 slab away payment. Let's go ahead and apply that real fast. Okay. Hey, what's up, Mr. Russ? How's it going, Russ? So we're going to head up to slab away. Okay. So Jose Arredondo, it's going to be $275 minus 41, $234 remain. Boom. All right, there we go. $234. All right, that's up to date. And that was this exclusive content sponsorship. I get so many of those. Are they real? Should I ever respond to one? I'm going to delete that. Let's see. Payment received. Who got some cash back? Apparently, I got some cash backs. Okay, we're going to delete that. Let's check the website. Hit refresh on the website. What's up, Mr. Johnny says, do you have insurance on the collection? Not all of it. Not all of it, because it's actually really hard to insure a really large collection. So, yeah, we're hoping we don't get hit by a tornado or anything like that. All right, Hathim says 5 English OP16, 2 Nikkei Precious. It's too complicated, actually. To actually insure everything, you would have to provide proof of it to the insurance company. You have to create like a database for every single item, its value, and then there's actually a lot of work to insure items. All right, 5 OP16s. Ready? They want to see how you secure it and everything. They want to see how you secure your cards. Grab this. And then when you actually ask them for like a policy, they say, okay, so this policy will cover this, this, and that, but not that. And so the thing you want them to cover, they'll be like, nah, we don't cover that. Unless you want to pay out the nose or something like that, right? So Yeah, collectibles insurance gets tricky the larger the amount of stuff you have. In the end, it starts to be better to spend that money on security instead. So we spend a lot of money on security. We are. And we talk about moving to places that have no natural disasters. Maybe Nevada. Maybe Las Vegas. They don't get hurricanes. They don't get tornadoes. I haven't heard of them getting big earthquakes before. They don't really get forest fires because what is there to burn? There's nothing. It's like blank out there. Yeah. So maybe they get like a drought or something. All right, Mr. Hatham. So, you know, get some kind of fortress in Las Vegas could be interesting. A fortress house. Tell the real estate agent, the number one thing we want is an impenetrable fortress. You know, and then move our vaults in there and get it all set up. We've talked about that. That's a strategy, you know. Not moving there because we prefer Nevada, but just moving there because we're trying to get the most optimal security for the cards. All right. Boop. What's this? Oh, we've got Sakazuki. You got Sakazuki. That's his name, Sakazuki? This guy's Sakazuki. Okay. I would never guess that. I would not guess that name. Edward Newgate. I thought this guy's name was Whitebeard. Okay. Mr. Jacob. What's up, Jacob? Welcome, guys, to the Saturday nighttime stream. We just got started. Pretty close to being on time. Almost there. Here we are. I was taking some pictures for NHCC. He wanted to see what he had left over here. So I started taking some pictures. Here's, whoa, look at that. Okay, we got Bunny Girl. That's what I said, bunny bread. All right. There we have it. Move to Phoenix. Yeah, Phoenix, Arizona is okay. Really hot, though. So is Las Vegas. I actually think Phoenix is hotter than Las Vegas, isn't it? Okay, tossing this. All right. Ooh. Go to Las Vegas, buy a security home with a pool. Then just go swimming in my own pool. No mosquitoes, no ticks. All right, this is for Hatham with an H. Where are you, Mr. Hatham? Here it is. Las Vegas is trying to develop a city that's more like a real city, you know, and not just a casino. They're trying to develop like a permanent group of people who live there, and, you know, more like the real deal, not just a tourist trap. Falling asleep? You can't fall asleep. You gotta stay up. Same heat, gas, Vegas, but way better. Da-da-da. Look at this. Tyranitar and Snorlax, guys. These are two of the new breaks. 1 in 8, 1 in 10. They're both extremely cool. That Snorlax, man, you keep an eye on him because that guy's going to be $1,000 in my opinion. And then this guy, he's from 2016. He's actually 10 years old already. This is Psychic King Tyranitar. So beautiful. The colors on it are so cool. They don't do colors like that anymore. See how it's a nice black color? They don't do that anymore. Now they go with like kind of like a bluish, like a dark blue for dark type. It's like they said, oh no, the color black's too scary. So they got rid of that. And so these older ones still have it. And it's just really impressive looking. How many more of those slab holders do you have for sale? I'd like to order a bunch. Yeah, I noticed you were ordering those on eBay. You know, we could probably work out a slightly better deal for you if you ordered them direct. And which kind were you looking to buy? You know, I have to actually stop and do an inventory on those so that I know how many I have. Do you believe that the United States can create tornadoes and other weather events? Well, there's cloud seeding. I've heard of that, but tornadoes, probably not. I think that would be hard to do. You know, that's more like, that's big stuff, right? Like you got big heat wave coming in or big cold front coming in and mixing together. How do you replicate something so huge? It's not like it's impossible. I'm sure everything's possible, but how would you do that with no one noticing? It'd be virtually impossible to hide it. You know, think of the energy you would require to do that. All right, satellites would see it. Chinese satellites, Russian satellites. If the government was creating tornadoes, someone would pick up on it. But, you know, there's people... what I mean to say is, yes, the government is creating tornadoes. It's all a conspiracy. That's what I meant to say. I'm sorry. Did I say Did I say the reasonable thing? Let me take that back. Nobody wants to hear anything reasonable anymore. That's not fun. Everyone wants the conspiracy now. I'm swapping sides. Reasonability, boring. Conspiracies, amazing. So what I mean to say is, yes, the government produces tornadoes, and they do that to steal land or something. All right, here it is. Hathim. 5 more English. OP16s. I'm taking it back. I don't want any reasonable takes anymore. Only crazy ones from now on. If I don't sound like Alex Jones when I talk, let me know so I can fix it. I'd like to order 10 of them. Ah, the PSA slabs. Okay, so you're interested in 10 of the PSA slabs. Okay. How much are they on Feebay again? Remind me. Sorry, snipping this. Snip this. Snip this. And snipping this. Here's 2 hollows. Long time supporting from the Philippines. Hello, Dean Spinoza. How are the Philippines? Is it roasting out there? Ooh. How are the Filipinas treating you? Huh? Here's Monkey D. Luffy. Here's this card. Ooh. And here's da-da-da, we got Mr. 3 Galdino. All right. Toss this over here. Perfect. Let's go grab your bag. Mr. Thim, no major snipes. Darn. We're looking for that major snipe. Says it's $20 a piece if you buy 7 or more. Oh, I see how it is. I see how you're doing it. Does it charge you shipping when you check out, or is the shipping free? I don't remember. There we go. FGCG has no resale value. What would you sell? What? What are you talking about? What's FGCG? Are you talking about CGC? Oh, he says TCG. I still don't get it. John, you might be... Okay, so the shipping's free. All right, so 20 if you buy 7 or more. So 20 each. All right, so we should be able to lower it. Let's see. So maybe like $18 a piece for them. I'm thinking $18 a piece. So if you want 10 of them, that'd be $180. And you can just send in for that, and I'll create a label for you. I think he may have been referring to when the desert got the flooding and then the snow. What? The desert? If trading cards had no resale value, what would you be selling? Oh, you're asking what would I be making money doing? That's a great question, man. Collectibles are the best, man. They're hard to beat. But you're saying trading cards specifically, no resale value. There's other collectibles out there, like Legos are kind of collectible. DVDs, VHS, old video games, old computers, old cell phones, magazines, comic books, old books. So there's a lot of things you can collect like a pawn shop. But here's a strange one. I have an incredibly deep knowledge of expensive wood, of all things. Like, we're talking like trees that are super rare and expensive. It's a very unusual, rare piece of knowledge. Most people don't know this stuff. I do, because that was my father's business, my Faja. He sold rare cuts of wood, and we made good money doing that. These were woods from around the world, from extremely rare trees that woodworkers like to craft with. And it would have to be imported. And, there's sort of like a market for rare cuts of wood, believe it or not. And I have such a dense knowledge of that because I did it for about 4 years. So I did that for about 4 years in my teenage years. And when I say I did it for 4 years, I did it like 16 hours a day, all 7 days of the week for 4 years. kind of like what I'm doing with Pokemon. So I didn't take a break. I was just outside working all day. I mean, I took breaks for like video games, but I had an insane knowledge of rare hardwoods by the end of 4 years. And so today I could invest in it right now, and I'd probably be pretty good at it. All right, let's see. What do we got? We got Mr. Thim, 2 more. Precious Nikkei 1, Magic Spooderman. You got it. It's an unusual talent. An unusual talent. Most people don't have it. I wouldn't call it a talent, but it's an unusual chunk of information. And I've got a lot of it. And you know what? It's an industry that doesn't have a lot of competition. The average person understands Pokemon these days. The average person does not understand rare cuts of wood. We're talking like ebony, we're talking snakewood, we're talking ironwood, burls, the rosewood family, babinga, zircody, bacody. We're talking red heart, purple heart, yellow heart, paduk, zebra wood, lace wood. What's that Hawaiian wood? There's a really expensive Hawaiian wood. Curly koa. That's what it's called. Curly koa. Of course, there's a variety of mahoganies too. There are. Cocobolo. There's like 5 different types of cocobolo. There are. Mesquite. Yeah, there's mesquite. There's mango wood. I'm trying to remember. Well, I haven't wingy. There's wingy. Wingy's kind of like mango wood. That's why I was trying to remember it. There's domestic woods like Osage orange, black walnut, box elder, sycamore. Oh, but then we're talking about wood, and you might have just pulled a really good card. Whoa, double star. Oh my gosh, do not show this to Matt Rodriguez. Hathim, you get pretty lucky on this channel, dude. Yeah, sandalwood's kind of boring. There was another wood called dogwood. Here we are. All right, and my wood. Ta-da! But I like a pretty advanced knowledge of all that stuff. Like we were learning stuff about the industry that almost no one knew. You only knew it if you were doing business-to-business purchases. Like they found purple paduk or whatever. Here it is, purple colored. It was purple and white, like candy almost. Absolutely insane. And Macassar ebony. There you are. All right. There's something called crotch wood. As funny as that sounds, but it basically refers to a tree that splits into 2 big stumps that go upward, right? And that's what all those fancy tables are made out of. And there's guys out there who go hunting for, cross sections of crotch wood here in America with the softwood trees like black walnut, just to stack them up in a warehouse, let them age, then they sand them up, and they'll often prep them for a very pretty picture, and then they'll sell them unfinished to table makers. Yes, swarm, being of bees. But I have pretty advanced knowledge of the different burls too. And I got to work with some of the rarest burls in the world, including, believe it or not, rosewood burls, which is almost unheard of. And I have a stick of rosewood burl with me right now. I kept it. I ran away and I kept that thing. You are. I cut a burl that was like $3,000 once in my garage as like a teenager. And my dad just let me do that because I'd been doing it for so many years. He just trusted me to do a good job. Here's Forrest. Yeah, he bought some insane burls. Chechen burl. We are. Chechen burl, rosewood burl. Eddie Brock. We make like, Turbinate. We make like knife handles. I figured I should keep talking about wood, Mr. Thin, because I was talking about wood when you pulled that big card over there, so I thought maybe double luck if I kept talking. What is a burrow? A burl, B-U-R-L. It's kind of like a wart. Have you ever had like a real wart on like your finger or something, and it's really weird, And you look at it and it's all effed up. Well, trees get warts, and there's 2 types of warts that trees get, burr and burl. A burr is more like a growth with winding grain, And it can be from irritation and stuff like that. Maybe like a bird or insects triggered it. But a burl is highly sought after with an L at the end, burl. A burl has something called crenellations in it. That's where the, for whatever reason, the grain kind of pops up off the tree in these coney spikes. And when you sand that away, it just turns insane. It just turns insane. It turns absolutely crazy. Here we are. So it's some of the densest, most figured cuts of wood in the world. Figure is when the grain is very pretty. That's what figure refers to. And those just sell for outrageous amounts of money, especially if you have a very good cut. Here we are. So, you know, you can go hunting in the world for the finest pieces of minerals like diamonds, gold, platinum. Well, that's true for wood as well, like trees. There are trees that are incredibly rare and valuable. And there are companies that go hunting for these trees, and they kind of cut them down to the point that they go extinct. So then it becomes a problem, and the government restricts access to the trees. And then the importers still want the trees, so they run illegal groups to go chop them down. And at the same time, they buy big plots of land, and they start planting these trees so that in about 50 years, those trees will have grown up and can be harvested again. And since they'll be dead before those trees can be harvested, what they do is they sell a crop of those trees off like any futures or something like that. They say, well, you can't harvest it for another 20 years, but you can buy it from me now. I've planted it all up. It's good to go. So you can buy the ownership of this tree plantation. And, you know, in 50 years, when it all gets chopped down, you're going to be rich. So they do that kind of stuff, and it's really fascinating. Here we are. All right. Mr. Them. Your dad was legendary tree wart hunter. So we learned how to detect burls and burrs in America, but American trees don't really get burls. Many of the burls come from Asia and Mexico. Asia and Mexico. I'm trying to remember the most famous Asian burl type. It's, I can't remember the name of it, to tell you the truth. And we didn't really deal in it a lot. I just knew it existed because it was so popular. There's also a lot of ways you can treat wood in order to make it more fancy looking. So like dyes, pressure, layering, epoxy, burning, molding. Molding is a really, they call it spalting. That's what it's called, spalting. Black lines go through the grain, which is often a really cool accent to white grain. So I have this black spalting, but it's mold actually. And so there are people who take large, like tree stumps, and they intentionally mold them. And they try not to overmold them because then the wood becomes unstable. But they try to mold them up to a certain point. Then they chop it apart. They treat it by having it soak in a sort of like resin. Then they dry that up, take a nice picture. They sell it online, and it can sell for a lot of money. I can show you actually. You know, sometimes we talk about it. I tried to mold wood in our backyard, but I didn't do a good job. Let's see, spalted maple. Spalted maple is pretty popular. And here we are, look at this. So, A&Q Hardwood Products. He's selling these for $25 per block. A block is 3 by 3 by 12. So somewhere this guy has a humongous amount of this wood because one tree provides a lot of wood. And he most likely has a process for spalting it that's very fast and efficient. And then he preps it, lists it on the internet, and woodcrafters buy it. Pretty interesting. Burls from Asia are majority man-made. That might be true. I mean, I don't know if that was true when I was a kid. But nowadays, they might be intentionally trying to trigger trees to grow burls. All right, next up, what do we got next? I'm checking the website. I'd love to have a cherry mixed with epoxy. Next up, today's stream brought to you by Hathim. Last 5 OP16s. You got it, Mr. Hathim. Ready? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I know a bunch of stuff. I was really good at wood turning. How many of you guys know that? Some of you guys already know that. But I was doing pretty impressive turnings as a child, basically. I mean, I was like 14 years old. Boy, I had some dangerous moments too. My parents would let me do the wood turning. They'd let me do the wood crafting by myself. I'd be using all kinds of saws, lathes, and, blades and all this stuff. And eventually I got into the most complicated form of wood turning, which is, what do they call that? When you chop the wood apart and glue it back together. Segmented turning. There you go. It's called segmented turning. So eventually I got into segmented turning, which is far more dangerous, because there's always a risk when you're making a vase or something that it explodes. And I had something explode while I was turning it, and by some luck, it did not strike me in the face. If it had, I could have been concussed, maybe even killed if it hit me just right. It could have destroyed one of my eyes, could have hit me in the throat, could have broken all my front teeth. I mean, the wood was spinning at I think it was like 4,000 RPM or something like that. I can't remember. And it flies off the lathe, punches a hole in the garage wall, and explodes. And I was this close to it. Could have been my face. So after that happened, I ended up going online and buying myself a face guard and sort of like a leather apron, so that if a segmented turning explodes, I'll hopefully not be too damaged. Mr. Jesus was protecting you. Yeah, he might have been protecting me. I mean, I was a skinny little kid. I was a toothpick. So I was the skinny little kid doing some pretty advanced wood turning for, like a 14, 15-year-old, unsupervised, and I had zero protective equipment. None of it. In fact, what was funny is I wasn't even using very good equipment for turning at all. People who do really advanced wood crafting, they typically have really good tools. I was like an Indian guy. I had like cheapo tools. And the lathe I was using was just a Craftsman wood turning lathe. And I was turning these giant vases on them. And they'd be about as big as the lathe could actually fit, which you're really not supposed to do that. It's not designed for that. So I'd turn it on high speed. And yeah, maybe I put too much pressure and it would wobble on one end and just blow up. So once I got it into segmented turning, I had a lot of things blow up. But at one point I had protection. I had a leather apron, and I had a shield, a face guard. And the face guard is like this heavy duty plastic that, if you had a baseball thrown at you, you wouldn't feel it. So at some point I had that. Mr. had sandals, so he was. Yeah, actually I didn't even have those. So when I was a kid, I had sandals so that I was allowed to go into public buildings, but at home, I virtually never wore them. So about 90% of the time, I did not wear sandals in that garage. We ran the whole operation from the garage, and all the splinters, all the sharp tools, all the razor blades and the cuts of wood scattered everywhere, and I was just barefooted the whole time. And I actually sliced the tip off of one of my toes. I got feet where the second toe's longer than the big toe. I sliced the tip off of one of those one time with a big log that fell over. It was a big slab of cocobolo. And it was like falling in slow-mo, and I was just lazy, and I didn't move my foot fast enough. I was like, it's falling. Shink! Clipped the tip off of my toe. Every step I took, there was it was like a cartoon. It was like a gush, an arch of blood would go psh, psh, every step I took. And then I got it inside and bandaged it and never touched it again. And it was fine. Oh, hell yeah, just in time for toe talk. Too young for safety beard. Yeah, I didn't have a safety beard at all. There was no safety beard. So I was lucky I didn't get injured. But I turned some pretty complicated segmented turnings for the tools that I had and for the lathe that I had. So, I had very weak tools and a very weak lathe. 2 cold ones, Mr. Joseph Smith, 2 cold ones. But I still ended up turning really difficult cuts of wood that I had segmented, and it's just really hard to do. I can show you guys if you want. I've shown before. Jacob says, slab holders, thanks, mister. You're the best. All right, let's do this. Jacob Chickering. Grab this. Cocobolo is hardwood from Central America. That's awesome. Yeah. This guy, Hibden Hardwood, was a major importer, and he owned fields and workers and a whole industry in Mexico. And he showed us, he owned the boats that would transport the wood. So he was a major importer, and he was located right here in St. Louis. And You know, it's pretty cool. He's probably dead now. He was an old man when I met him. All right, Jacob, so you got 10 of these. We're going to go ahead and make the weight nice and high. Let's update the date. Hey, mister, for shipping, am I send you 15 this time for my 2 sealed boxes as well? If you have sealed boxes, it'll be $15. That's right. So you can send in 15. All right. Yeah, Coca-Cola, there were different Coca-Colas. Guatemalan Coca-Cola, which was like a darker brown. Nicaraguan Coca-Cola. No, I think Nicaragua had almost a purplish tint to it. And then there was a brighter orange type of Coca-Cola. I'm trying to remember the name of it. Let me look it up. That's the more popular Coca-Cola. That kind of Coca-Cola, we would just call it Coca-Cola. Which kind of Coca-Cola had a bright orange color and black lines? That was the stuff everyone wanted. Let's see. They're just calling it Mexican Coca-Cola. Huh, maybe it really was just called Coca-Cola. Yeah, so the standard Coca-Cola would just be a kind of a nice orange color with black lines in it. And that was the natural grain. And so a very fine cut of Coca-Cola could earn an enormous amount of money. There, let's see. So this will say 10 PSA. Display. There we go. Amboina burl. Yeah, Amboina. Now, is that the Asian burl? I can't remember. Amboina burl is from where? Southeast Asia and the Pacific Islands. So we didn't actually deal a lot in Amboina burl. We dealt with 2 other types of burl a lot. One was called Chechen burl, and I can't remember the other type of burl, but the other type of burl had like a white color to it. If I sat down and thought about it for a while, I would remember it. Yeah, we dealt with the kind of white colored burl. It wasn't a domestic burl, but it was still, it looked kind of like it was a domestic burl. Hold on, let's open this up. Come on now. There we go. I'm going to rewind this music. Poplar. Poplar trees in the United States are like a blooming tree. We actually had one in our front yard. Those are just a standard American tree, and they're pretty boring. They don't, they have very regular looking grain, and you're not going to turn anything special out of that. Real boring. Good for firewood. All right, Big Jacob Chickering order. Next up, we got Mr. Thim, 5 gem 5s. All right, where will we strike again, Mr. Thim? You did really good tonight already with the double star. This stream brought to you by Mr. Thim. Amboina poplar. Here we are. One of my favorite woods to turn was red heart and bloodwood, which was a dark red color. And then you know what else was a favorite color of mine? Ebony. You had 2 types that we dealt in, African ebony and Macassar ebony, which was my actual favorite, was Macassar ebony. So a lot of my favorite turnings would be a combination of red heart or bloodwood, segmented with Macassar ebony. Those were my favorites. But I turned a lot. When I left home, I only got to bring some of my turnings with me. So sadly, a lot of them got left behind. I turned a lot of things like jewelry boxes, and I turned hundreds of pens, which I didn't get to take those home. I didn't get to take those with me. I just couldn't carry it all. And I turned a whole bunch of stuff. I turned a bunch of smaller bowls before getting into the larger segmented vases. There are. Cool. But I still have those vases. There we are. All right. Poplar burl is often for stained tops. Yeah, so, you know, it's funny, with American wood, you often have to use like some kind of coloring agent in the finishing product to make it sort of, the grain to sort of stand out. But when you buy like exotic hardwoods that are highly desirable, they don't need that because they're already so beautiful. And they often have like mixed colors and weird grains. And so with those, you will use like a wax finish. You will use like a sealer followed by a wax finish, so that they're really like mirror-like, holographic almost. But they would hate to stain an actual quality cut of wood because it ruins the true colors and the true beauty of it. Here we go, Mr. Thim. Moppa Burl. I don't think I've heard of that one. I know another wood we did. One of the most profitable woods we ever dealt with was something called, it was like Padawak or something like that. I think we just called it Paduke. And we got a very special order of it in. It was Paduke, but instead of being the typical vanilla, red, orange colors, it was purple. And it was like this anomaly. And so my dad bought a humongous amount of it. And he made so much money on it. It was so popular. He was able to sell it at a ridiculous margin. We were taking big lumber boards of it, chopping it up into small pieces, and just sold it forever, dude, because we had so much of it. And it just sold and sold and sold. Just like with Pokemon. You run into something cool, you run into something people want, you just don't, you don't have enough. It's just how it is. Joseph Smith, 2 last Poke Shuffles and shipping. You got it. Do you think any of the wood you had were used to print Pokemon? Oh, no. No. You know, so if Pokemon cards are still using cardboard, I'm sure they're sourced from like pine trees or something like that. Something boring. Ever seen Pale Moon Ebony? Hell of a fretboard. Yeah, so I don't know about Pale Moon Ebony. There's a lot of nicknames for woods. But, you know, I worked with like ivory wood and all kinds of fun stuff that gets used in fretboards. Sometimes guitar luthiers would buy from us, but Hibden was actually the major provider for luthiers. And our business was all about taking his, you know, B-tier chunks of wood, stuff he couldn't use in luthier guitar making. He would just throw that away because he thought it was useless and he had so much of it. So he was just throwing big chunks of wood away. We would take those and break them down into smaller cuts for like knife handles, pen blanks, small bowls, segmented turning, jewelry boxes. He just didn't have time for that. It was like a waste of time for him. It's like if somebody came over here to my shop and bought all my bulk, all this bulk stuff and all my empty booster boxes and empty booster packs and play mats and coins and accessories, and they made a whole business out of reselling my garbage. That's what my dad had done. And it was profitable. It was like really profitable. It turned out Hibden was actually leaving a lot of meat on the bone, and he just didn't care because he had so much of it. So that became very lucrative. All right, Joseph Smith, let's go ahead and get you a big label. All right. Pale Moon looks like a silhouette of cigarette smoke. All the woodsmen in the chat coming out of the woodworks. All right, let's see. One of my absolute favorite domestic woods to work with. I actually have a couple trees of it in my yard right now. And it's called aromatic cedar. If you've been to like a festival, oh, wow, that's expensive. That's some pricey ass shipping, dude. All right, we'll print this up. You got some expensive shipping. All right, there we go. So let's check for bag, I guess. Let's see. Mr. Joseph, do we keep you up top? I think we might keep you up top if you have a bag. Okay, let's see. Yes, here we are. All right, very good. Okay, grabbing that. All right. I remember actually there was a point closer to when I was getting ready to leave. I was older, right? I was like 17. And I remember my dad was running into a problem where Hibden was finally starting to cut into his own business. So like for years, Hibden had just let my dad have all this B-tier cuts of wood. And now Hibden was sort of experimenting with the internet, which he didn't want to do that before. He just wanted to sell directly to his big customers. So he had big customers who bought his product for guitar making, and that was his business. And my dad's business was like looking for arbitrage, you know, that is a little bit of profit in something that's wrongly priced. And he would sell that up on eBay. That was my dad's whole business, was eBay. And near the end of it, of me being at home, I remember he was running into this problem where Hibden was now starting to experiment with selling his chunks of wood online. So he was starting to build his own website and sell exactly what my dad sells. Or like maybe to sell the scrap, instead of just to my dad, he could sell it to anybody. And so he was getting nervous about that. He's like, oh, not going to make as much money if that happens. All right, let's see. Mr. Hathim, 5 more Gem 5s. You got it. I have a cigar box made out of cedar, 20 years old, never lost its scent. Thank you for all your streams. You've been a huge anchor for a tough patch in my life. Hope you keep streaming. I'll definitely be here watching and supporting. Sounds good, man. Here we are. All right. You have a tough patch? You can talk about it if you want. No one knows each other here. Here we are. Yeah, so that's right. So if you have a cigar box and it's made out of aromatic cedar, which is probably about kind of a pale brown color, but you know, when you cut the wood, it's a purple color. So it starts out purple, and if the sun never touches it, it actually stays purple. But so anyways, it has a wonderful smell. And you can go to factories where they produce all kinds of furniture and all kinds of huge, you know, like wood-only made products out of that cedar. And if you walk into the building, the whole building smells like it. And it's just an amazing experience. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like a freaking perfume, man. All right, there we go. Good. Ready, Hathim? I'm ready. But you know, if you go to a festival, a lot of the times, and I don't know if this is true for everyone, it might be more like a local regional thing. But I remember I'd go to festivals in St. Louis and in St. Charles, and there'd always be some guys selling like crap made, ooh, there you go. There you go. Crap made out of aromatic cedar. I started experimenting with a new kind of product called an X-cut. They called it cross-cut or X-cut pen blanks. And these were pen blanks where instead of cutting the pen blank with the grain, you cut it perpendicular to the grain, which was really dangerous because while you're turning the pen, the odds of it exploding were really high. So you could treat it with like epoxy, and that's what people were discovering. And they're going, so then if we treat it with epoxy, we can still turn it. And it'll still stick together, and we can make some super cool grainy pens. So that was becoming really popular, and I tested that out with aromatic cedar, and I sold a whole bunch of them. Not on eBay, but directly in wood turning forums, which was also one of my big experiments. Working for my dad, I said, why are we selling on eBay? We should sell off of eBay where there's no fees. That was my big experiment. And look at me now, I do the same thing, but with Pokemon. All right, congratulations, Hathim. All right. I can show you guys some expensive pens I turned if you guys wanted to see it. Would you guys like to see that? I haven't done it in so many years. I think it would take practice to get back into it again. I know you're going to say yes. Let me go grab it. All right, oh, wow. All right, here we are. There we go. So, wow, look, it's all dinged up. This is really old. It's not very complicated, but this is a pretty thick cut of Macassar ebony. Really expensive. Macassar ebony was never really like a pure dark black. It was like a brownish black with some cuts of gray in it. It's not as pretty as it used to be. I would have to sand it, and if I sanded it, the real color would come out. And this appears to be bloodwood. It looks like bloodwood to me. It's almost brown, but this should actually be a dark red color. It's been sun-dyed. Okay. So that was like a coin jar for me. All right, look at this. All that dust on it. So this is a pretty pricey chunk of zirconia, and I just kind of stole it for myself. Here it is. How pretty that is. Very pretty. So that comes all the way from Mexico. You might be wondering what that's for. That is for, this is probably my best pen that I ever turned, is this guy right here. This is called an Emperor pen. It is. Ta-da! All right, so I made that probably at the age of about 15 or 16. That's rosewood burl, an Emperor pen. I think that's the ballpoint pen. I can't remember. No, this should be the fountain pen, actually. So this is inlaid with real gold. And the kit for it was like $500. And there it is. I probably need to refill the ink in this. It probably all dried up. I was turning this as a kid. See? And they sell these pens for a lot of money. And the cut of wood that you're looking at here is one of the rarest cuts of wood in the world. It's rosewood burl. Look how crazy it looks. That's not what, I mean, think about how small the pen is. It's quite small. So how is it so wavy in such a small amount of space? Well, it's because it's a highly figured cut of burl. And I still have one of those pen blanks somewhere. I saved it. And then this is also one of the rarest cut. Now this is inlaid with platinum. So this is also an Emperor pen. And you can see this is cracking, unfortunately. So I guess it just does that over time. What's going on is the wood changes over time as it loses moisture. So this might have not been fully dry when I turned it. Might have still been wet. But you'll notice it has almost like a leopard pattern to it. Do you see that leopard pattern? And so and it's it could be shinier. Like I got a better shine on the rosewood. Well, this can shine too if I were to take it and repolish it. This is one of the most expensive woods in the entire world. Per pound, it costs more than gold. And this is called snakewood from Suriname. So snakewood, just the very center of the tree has this pattern. And it's so heavy. It's such a heavy cut of wood. And when you turn with it, it's very much like turning with glass. It's incredibly dense, incredibly dense. So see, these are some of the cool things I turned. There you go. What do you think? I just kept those. Now I could have turned more. I'm sorry, I could have brought more of my turnings with me. I had already turned hundreds of pens by the time I left. Worth more than gold? Yes. It's that rare and expensive. I don't know if that's still true. It was true when I was younger. Gold's more expensive than it used to be, so I don't know if that's still true. A little show and tell here, guys. We like show and tell. And then I turned this whole thing on a pen turning lathe. I turned this whole thing on a pen turning lathe, which is hard for me to express how impressive that is. So you can see this is actually a segmented turning. See? It needs to be repolished. When this was done, it was black and red, just like the table actually. But notice it's sort of like a brown and brown now. It's from sun fading. If I polished the whole thing, it would be black and red. And yeah, this is really hard to do. So I had to build the lid, and each cut of wood has to be measured basically perfectly. So think about it. Each wedge has to be the right size in order for these to line up and for there to be no, leftover business between the cracks here. So there's no spaces here, and that's hard to do. And then there's actually supposed to be one more piece to this, but I never made it. I ran away from home. So there's supposed to be a plug that goes here, and it's called a finial. And it's made out of, typically it's made out of ebony as well. And it's an ornate sort of like bulb here, and it gets skinnier as it goes up. So I was supposed to build one of those and just put it on top. So if you could imagine this thing here, and then it's supposed to have an ornate thing that sticks out of the top like that. But I never finished that. I just left home. But so this was turned on a wooden lathe designed to turn pens. Look how well I made it. Look how I was able to turn the blade all the way to the very bottom layer of the bowl. See how deep that goes? So just imagine there's this bowl chuck, and it's just holding the vase by this piece at the end like this. and it's spinning this huge thing at like 3,000 RPM, and I'm going in with the blade, and the blade just has to keep getting down to the end. And look how much trouble I went through to make sure it was sanded all the way at the bottom. It's actually pretty well sanded. So yeah, I worked really hard on this, and this was one of the last things I made, so I probably made this around 16 or 17. Look at how well the lid fits too. That's hard to do. You're basically doing that by eye almost. All right, anyways, it doesn't look as good as it once looked. If I could have taken a picture of it and shared it with you when it was finished, it would have been red and black. Not anymore. It's not red and black anymore. All right, I'm going to put it away. I might have the ability to show you a moment from my past on the internet if I were to go search Macassar Ebony and Red Heart. So give me a second. Actually, let's just type in Ebony Red Heart. Oh, here it is. So we typed that in, and there it is. And you can see it's more red there. Here we are. So here's more what it looked like when it was done. That's me as a kid posting a picture to a forum. Here's another one I completed. This is also me right here. That one right there is also me. I have that with me right now. It's on a shelf. So you get a sense more of the redness of it. There we are. Pretty neat. So that's still on the internet if you search Red Heart Macassar, Red Heart Ebony. Oh, and this is what a finial looks like, by the way. Here it is. See this guy? So I still needed to build the finial. See it? It's like a interesting handle that goes on top of the vase. So I needed to build one for this guy, but I never got a chance to. So there you have it. How much for the bowl? Whew. I don't know about that, man. Should I sell that? I don't know about selling my bowl. I don't have a lot of childhood memories. That's one of the only things I have. I don't know, dude. I mean, obviously, if you offered me $1 million, I couldn't say no to that. That'd be stupid. I'm not going to sell it for $1, though. All right. So, yeah, the segmented turning, it offers like design challenge, gluing challenge. You actually have to glue all that together so well that it doesn't explode when you turn it. You're turning it at 3,000 RPM, and you can't risk it exploding. And yeah, and think about how the force of the spin works. I mean, it wants to blow up. That's how it's working. Like you just glued this thing together, and it's supposed to hold. Doesn't make any sense, right? So the gluing's done with a lot of powerful glue, woodworking glue, and clamping. And everything has to measure perfectly. You have to be very skilled with the saw. You have to cut everything perfectly. There might be sanding involved. And each aspect of the segment has to be perfect as well, like the top and bottom, but also the angles. It all has to be perfect. And if there's a weakness in the structure while it's spinning, it explodes. And I know that because I've had them explode before. What if somebody offered $12K and asked for immediate shipping? Man, I guess that would be tempting, sort of. I mean, I've had it for many years. I think I'd feel sad down the road. Maybe I wouldn't. Maybe if you posted it to the internet and I could still see it from the internet, I'd feel okay about it, you know? Because you don't keep it, you don't take anything with you when you die, so yeah, there's probably a price tag where I'd sell most of my stuff, you know, but I wouldn't want to give up something so nice. It's not necessarily that the wood's expensive or that it's the best looking vase in the world or something like that. It's just this little piece of my childhood. I don't really have a lot of that. We are. I'm on short supply of childhood memories. Well, this Latios is a 10. Let's get him. All right, guys, let's get to work. It's the late night stream for Saturday. I probably distracted you all with that interesting stuff. Let me mention this. I probably do have some other items I would sell. So I just showed you a couple of the items I turned. I turned a lot of items, and I have like a little box of them. So there probably are a few things I could sell, like a different pen or something like that, but we are. All right, let's take a picture of this. Yeah, there probably is something I would sell. I really like that vase, though. It's like me selling my complete unlimited base set binder, which I would never do. I'm just kidding, mister. That was a scammer reference. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, so let me take a picture of this. We're taking a picture of the nines. Let's see. Yeah, I'd be in the garage all covered in black and red sawdust, working on those for days, actually. It took a long time to make those things. Very dangerous to make, too. Could explode any second. All right. And it was because I practiced so much by that point that I was able to make that and make it look nice. We are. All right. I'm not kidding. Do a break for pen. Ooh, the Emperor pens, huh? Well, you know, really all of the wood pieces I have are pretty, they're not shiny anymore. They need like rebuffing. The rosewood pen stayed in good condition, actually. Yeah, the rosewood pen's looking good. But the snakewood one, did you see the crack in it? So I feel like the crack needs to be repaired. It needs probably super glue, and then a resanding and after the resanding, probably a rebuffing and then a re-waxing. All right. Oops, I just closed my Gmail. So in other words, the pen could use a repair before it gets sold. I don't have any of the equipment for that anymore. I don't have any equipment for any of that. All right, let's see. I thought no stream today. What are you talking about, no stream today? It's Saturday. All right, let's see what we got here. Of course, we got to have a stream on Saturday. There's no stream on Sunday, except there is. Mr. Hutham, 3 Azure Lane, first edition English. Okay, Azure Lane, you say. Let's see, I'd still buy it. I mean, I've had those items for a very long time. I think I could sell 1 or 2 of them. Let's see. Very good. I think the harder ones for me to sell would be the segmented turnings. But, you know, there'd probably be a point where I'd consider it at least. 1, 2, 3. Like I said, I'm going to have to give it to somebody someday. A kid or a relative, because I'm gonna croak. There we go. Ooh. Very nice. 3 Azure Lanes. The pen would be pretty expensive. It's about a $500 pen is what I remember. The kit was like, the kit for the pen itself was pretty expensive. I don't remember what it was though, actually. I think the kit, to tell you the truth, I think the kit was more like $250. And then I think when you count labor and when you count the materials used, which snakewood on one, it's pretty good. And the rosewood burl on the other, also pretty good. So I think that was how I remember that price of being around $500. My ex-wife father was a master carpenter. He would build custom wood doors for really rich people. Yeah, it's a cool area of work. It's really hands-on. Nobody tells you to become a woodworker, you know. They tell you to be like an influencer or something like that, a stinky influencer. Go play video games on YouTube. Nobody tells you to be like a master woodcrafter. And yet, it's still needed in this world. You know, masonry, woodcrafting, all that good stuff. Ooh, still needed. There we go. Mr. Them. Nowadays, there's still people who turn incredible things, and they have big wood shops, and, you know, I could do all that. I have the ability to get right back into it. It's like if you scuba dived for about 4 years straight, nonstop, and then you take a 20-year break. Well, you still mostly remember it. You need a lot of practice, but you remember how it goes. People do it for luxury, for leisure. So, you know, I don't think it makes money, but I think people get into it for leisure. Maybe it'd be a good way to destroy my lungs. There's a lot of sawdust involved and a lot of chemicals involved. Next up, we have Mr. Hathim. 3 more, Azure Lane. Hathim, I think you're the only one ordering. This stream brought to you by Hathim. I say we get the giveaway out and just give Hathim 5 spots. What do you think, Hathim? You think that's fair? You are? He's the only one ordering. Him and Joseph Smith. Ready? All right, let's see. We got, oh, I guess Jacob Chickering too, actually. Okay, I'm not naming everybody. I got to make sure I name everybody. Here we are. Jacob Chickering actually put in an order for some of those PSA slabs, PSA displays. Here's a holo. Why isn't no one else ordering? I don't know. Some days are busy, some aren't as busy. I kind of feel like it's because we don't have enough new sets. So I don't think I've added a new set to the menu in a while. We need to add like some actual serious new sets. New Dragon Ball, new Weiss Schwartz, new something, you know what I mean? I feel like if you don't get a new set in, it gets a little stale. We got to get some new sets. And then Pitch Black is coming out, and 30th Anniversary is coming out. And we're in summer too, by the way, which historically has never been very good for sales. But yeah, we're getting closer to our Pitch Black arriving. Master Woodcrafter, he would be hurt if I called him a carpenter. There we go. Okay, very nice. What do we have here? We got Dratini 6. We got Omanite 8. Meowth 10. Looking good. We need to get people in this pack split. How do I get people in here? You guys want me to host a gym break? I can host a $33 three-way gym break on that. We got to help that thing move. Harry Potter. That's Harry Potter base set. A little more expensive because it's Harry Potter base set. Here's Darth Nihilus. We're going to lower the price of Island. Okay, there we go. It's just how it is, you know. People got to feel the passion. And then they go, oh, man, I want to collect some cards, you know. It's a feel. It's like if you're not feeling like smoking and you're in the smoke shop. Got to get people smoking. Like, hey, have a smoke. You got to whip out your pipe and get some wacky tobacco. I used to visit my grandfather's wood shop. Smells so good in there. Yeah, that's right. So wood crafting often has a lot of good smells. I learned over time it can be really bad for your lungs because you're exposed to a lot of chemicals and the sawdust is bad for you. And so, you know, I did that for 4 years, kind of like coal mining, right? You're not exactly supposed to be a coal miner. Well, so I was like a coal miner for 4 years as a kid, as a teenager. And I wonder these days if that was not so good for me. All right. We didn't have any protective gear. All sawdust just went into the air. Kiln dried, chemically treated wood. Not the best. Here's Nidoran. Here's a Vileplume. It will be very interesting to see if Harry Potter stuff grows or crashes from the new show. Yeah, we got some Harry Potter cards as a result of the new show coming out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There we are. All right, we got 15 right here. So Huntail, he's going to be a nice vintage hit going up into the Poke Shuffles. Number 19. Huntail. P9. Is that Darth Nihilus? Yes, it is. That was Darth Nihilus for 40 bucks, PSA 9. Really nice card. Yu-Gi-Oh! Chaos Rising Mister. Yeah, I saw that, the Chaos Rising set. I didn't buy it because I guess in general, I'm still really unconfident with Yu-Gi-Oh! We have Rarity V, so we have plenty of the Rarity V still available. Let's see. That's listed up on eBay, Feebay. Nihilus is a planet eater. He is so OP. What? Why is he so OP? Is it because he's a planet eater? All right. So we have an order from... Whoa. We have an order from Mark Kaplan. Sorry, Mark, I didn't see that. So Mark Kaplan has placed an order. I didn't realize that was a fresh order. All right. Let me just hit refresh on this. So we got Mark Kaplan and Ki-Hyun Rowe. All right, let's get it. Mr. Mark. Mark's going to order 3 of the Blue Sky Streams. You got it, man. You got it, mister. 1, 2, 3. Good. And we'll put this rocket pack back. I don't know why this rocket pack is here. It probably shouldn't be here. should be with the other rocket. Yeah, I should just stand up and put it with the other rocket packs instead of being a lazy buns. Okay, so 3 of those. 2 of the Korean black bolts. Here they are. All right, 2 Korean black bolts. 2 ancient roars. All right, 2 ancient roars. Good. And 2 pokey shuffles. Let's get them. We just placed a new item in those pokey shuffles. Hit the like button if you want to, or whatever. Smash that like button for a second, will you guys? Do me a favor. All right, what we got? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. There it is. Da-da-da. 2 cold ones. I'm sorry, man. That's 2 cold ones. Let's test these packs out here. He is so powerful, but not much backstory exists on him. All right. I want to be powerful. What do we got? Cold. Cold. Da-da-da. We've got, oh, Fezandipity or something like that. That looks nice. Here's, Master Ball Padove or something like that. Very good. That was a good round. How about the Blue Skastweem Hollow? Here's Gyarados. Oh, Gyarados. How flat are these? Are these flat? These aren't very flat. They seem pretty flat. All right. We'll put these over here to be used later in the Pokey Shuffles. Okay, good. So, now, Mr. Mark, you were shipping yesterday. I think you have a bag over here. Oh, we need to pick a new trade slab, everybody. Oh, that's Joseph Smith's bag. Okay, hold on. Your bag must have been taken away. The website still never works for me. That's why I always use PayPal. Any way to fix that? I don't know. Here it is, Mark Kaplan. I actually do not know. I don't know the answer to that. Oh, headache. What the hell? Like a headache coming in there. All right. Lovely. Tonight, I made Karis a delicious beef bulgogi stew. It wasn't really beef bulgogi, but maybe a little bit. There we go. I like using Asian cooking ingredients. This needs to be put away. This actually stays out. I just sold my entire collection. I can't handle the crash. Did you really? How much did you sell? You can't stand the idea of the prices going down, huh? What do you plan on doing with all your money? You gonna reinvest it in the stock market? What if the stock market crashes? Oh no! The stock market's at an all-time high. Sell, 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 sell. Here's Charizard. I'm taking all my Pokemon cards down into the bunker so that when Iran leashes the fury of Iran, I'll be protected in my bunker. Next up, we have Ki-Hyun Ro. He says 6 of the OP15s. 6 of them. Okay. Okay, you need to check the recipe of J-Gook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There was a time period where I learned a lot about Korean cooking. Here we are. All right, good. And now let's see. Here's 5 Pokey Shuffles as well. Okay, in addition to this, 5 Pokey Shuffles. It's been 45 days. Can you check on the BGS for Pikachu? I'll check on it one more time, okay? Last time. All right, we're gonna say a 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops, 5. Because we already know it's not done, because if it was, they would probably, well, obviously it would show up in the mail. Here it is. All right. Putting that there. And we'll grab it. We'll grab this. Pretty sure they email you when it's done. Let's snip this. And we know why they might be taking longer than usual. They're taking longer than usual because everything's shut down. PSA is shut down, tag is shut down, and so BGS is still up. And so I wouldn't expect any other cards to arrive on time anymore. All right, let's see. I think the government is getting ready to go underground and just nuke a dying civilization. No! Here's a holo. Here's a holo. I was watching a war analyst talking about Iran. And he was saying Iran's pretty cooked. That's what he was saying. It is. He was noting some interesting figures, like how Iran seems to have been pretty degraded because they're firing far fewer missiles. They're not firing as many. But he was talking about one of the biggest problems for them. So one of the biggest issues they face, they don't have any friends. The surrounding countries are tired of Iran, where Iran has shot at them. And so he was talking about how a lot of people framed the war as sort of like an Israeli-American war, but he says that's not actually accurate. There's a lot of interests in the Middle East who also don't like Iran, including Qatar and Saudi Arabia. They really don't like Iran. So those guys are like enemies with each other, and they're working with the United States because they're glad the United States is chopping Iran up. All right, let's see. So I found that really interesting. I hadn't really thought of it from that perspective before. That, there might be other, Muslim majority countries that also aren't big fans of what Iran's all about. I'm packing at the moment. I'm heading to seminar next week. Seminar sounds cool, man. I have a lot of different sets of sealed products. Let's go ahead and shuffle up these slabs. So anyways, I found that pretty interesting. There's that Hypno. We just added him to the table. Here's End's Plan. Now, we got a lot of these consignment cards, and I think it's time to take a round of them down. We have a lot of consignment cards up here. So let's start by taking down Dark Golduck. Now, wait a second. That needs to be fixed. There we go. Put that over there. Anyways, I was learning that amidst the attacks by Iran on its neighboring countries, apparently, did you guys know Ukraine has been making some serious money by working with the Middle East right now, because it has all this drone technology, including drone defense, but also drone offensives. So they know how to make, fully autonomous drones. Ukraine's been doing drone warfare nonstop for like 2 years against, protecting itself against Russian aggression. And so they're in the thick of it, and they're somewhat experts at it from all their practice and experimentation, and probably with their assistance from, the United States and Europe. So they've been selling technology to the Middle East for drone interception and drone offensive capabilities too. Yes. All right, really interesting. Good. I'm packing at the moment. All those drones are coming from China though. Yeah, China does produce a lot of drones. So I that's all kind of speculation. I don't really know who makes what, or, it's hard to prove who's doing what. Who's playing both sides, you know what I'm saying? But it's really interesting to hear about that, how, Iran may be trying to get into drone warfare because maybe it's cheap and effective. And so that's now becoming not just a Ukraine problem, it's becoming an us problem. We have to become really good at countering those attacks. Like Russia right now is struggling to deal with Ukraine because Ukraine is striking deeper into Moscow using pretty cheap military equipment, and it's unmanned. It's AI drones. The drones they're told what to target, and then they just fly out there and look with a computer that's not connected to the internet. It's just a local, disconnected computer, and the computer's making decisions on its way over to Moscow. Here's Alexio Alvarez. Hey, mister, I have a bag. 10 of the OP15s. 10 of these. You got it. All it will take is for one RPG UE. The drone wars will not be fun. I know. Imagine intercontinental drones, and they just have a small payload, but they can fly really far, and they're fully autonomous, and you can tell them to seek out, like, infrastructure, leaders, whatever, you know? So intercontinental drone warfare could be the future. You could just be walking around one day, and a drone from China or Russia or Iran or one of these places comes and assassinates you, essentially, you know, or maybe those countries just hire another country to do it, and they say, we didn't do this, this crappy country did it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we got 9 here. We're going to need a fresh box then, right? Here we are, fresh box. Pretty interesting, if you ask me. I mean, that's serious business. There we go. It's scary, really. Hey, what's up, Mr. Hazim? Hey, what's up, Dawn? $5 million T-90 tank gets clapped by a $200 drone. Yeah. That's warfare, man. Warfare forces you to evolve or lose. That is warfare. It's actually really heavy technology-driven work. I mean, that's where we got the internet, right? That's where we got the computer, and it's where we got the internet. We got it from the military. All right, the Alan Turing machine. Remember that? Alan Turing, the gay guy. He was a gay guy. Here we are. It's kind of an interesting thing. You see that a lot in software engineering, I swear. There's a lot of... you see a lot of very sensitive guys. Here we are. Very sensitive types. Maybe some of them are a little on the autistic scale, or, you know, something like that. You see a lot of neurodivergent types, you know. Is that the right term, I think? Neurodivergent. I'm going to toss this over here. All right, you ready? Alexio. Here's a hollow. Here's... So that was Alan Turing, and his job was to decode the German secret messages. They had created a spy language that would change every day. So you couldn't like crack their secret messages in time. That was the problem faced by the engineers in Britain. They were like decoders, right? The Germans would send a message to each other that was easily interceptable. Like they would pick up on it, the British would. They'd hear it, they'd be like, ooh, here's the message, guys. But it was in code, and they didn't know what it meant. So they'd start decoding it as fast as they could. But the problem is, the next day, the Germans will have they would have changed all the rules of the secret language. So the next day, the Germans would have another conversation with each other, but this time it was in a new coded language where maybe the letter E is replaced with the letter R, whereas maybe yesterday the letter E was replaced with the letter W. So it was like, how are they doing that? It was like impossible. How can you create a new secret coded language every day to talk to each other? Well, it was simple. The Germans had created an encryption machine, and the British weren't fast enough at breaking that code every day. They couldn't do it. They couldn't decrypt the secret messages in time for that to be useful. It is because the next day the Germans would come out and just use a new different coded language. So Alan Turing had the brilliant idea of automating the cracking of that language. So he wanted to decrypt it, and he didn't want to do it with the person. He wanted to do it with the machine. And that machine was the earliest, you could call it the earliest version of the idea of a computer. And he succeeded too. He succeeded. You know, he had to do things like, pretty sure he had to do things like create memory, and he had to create like, you know, on-off states, right? The binary. And the computer would have to understand inputs, you know, like maybe 1O on-off stood for like the letter A or something like that, right? So they did all that, and once they'd gotten the machine running, they used that information to crack the German code over and over again. So they figured out what the Germans were saying to each other with their Enigma machine, because the British came up with their own machine to decrypt the Enigma machine. How crazy is that? So you saw the evolution of the computer in World War II. It is. Ta-da! What is the Turing test? I think I'm confusing two things. What's up, Mr.? Hey, what's up, Mr. CS Man? All right, that's Alexio Alvarez. Did you guys like that story? That's a pretty famous story. If you go to school to learn about computer science, that's one of the things you learn about is you learn about Alan Turing. And I don't know what the Turing test is. Let me look it up. Alan Turing later gets, what is the Turing test? He gets a benchmark for artificial intelligence proposed by mathematician Alan Turing in 1950. In the test, a human judge engages in a text-based conversation with both the human and a machine. If the judge cannot distinguish which participant is the machine, the AI passes. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I didn't know that one either. But so he was like a homosexual in the 1940s, which was like not allowed. So they like chemically castrate him or something like that. And then I think he commits suicide later, right? So that's all part of the story. He commits suicide because he gets in trouble for being gay. All right. And here we have it. Oh. I wasn't confused. Dang. Yeah, the British military, to reward him for his brilliant discovery and invention, they go, you know, you're kind of a gay guy. We're going to have to castrate you. I think that's what happened. Let me look it up. I haven't read that story in a long time or heard that story in a long time. Was Alan Turing chemically, what would it say, castrated? Castrated. In 1952, Alan Turing was convicted of indecency for his homosexuality and given the choice of imprisonment with the condition that he undergo hormonal treatment. He chose chemical castration. Wow. That's crazy. In 1954, he died of cyanide poisoning, so he killed himself. Wild. You know, that's what you learn about people. Some of the people who are the very, very, very best at code are just very different guys. They're not like your stereotypical Chad or something, you know, like football player guy. They tend to be hyper introverted or something like that, or they're borderline, you know, autistic or something, you know, maybe they have Asperger's or whatever it's called, but they tend to not be normal people. They tend to be weirdly robotic, or they're weirdly good at math, or they're weirdly good at memory. They're weirdly good at solving a little puzzle. And then, yeah, they might not have stereotypical sexuality or something as a result of that, and then they get in trouble for it. And, you know, some societies really freak out over that, and then they miss out on those people, in my opinion, right? If you have an overly conservative country, you might miss out on those people. You ready? Here goes. Here's Alakazam Mega Evolution. Ooh, that's pricey, $200. We'll have to look that one up. Here's Rockets Moltres Destin Rival Stamp. That's pretty pricey too. Here's Manectric 9. Now this is probably about appropriately priced. Might be underpriced. Excuse me. Gengar 9. That's about appropriate for its price as well. And Mantine from Team Rocket returns. That actually almost seems too cheap. There it is. Ooh. Yeah, that's the story of Alan Turing. I don't know how I got onto that. Very good. Well, we have nobody in the queue. We're having a slow Saturday. And so that means now I guess I'll just open this for myself, right? You guys going to tune in for this? I'm probably going to open this in a video. So I hope you guys are there for that video when I post it, okay? We're going to open up this Thunderstorm theme deck. I actually bought this from, was it Jack? No, not Jack Woodworth. What was his name? I can't remember. I can't remember his name, actually. It might have been James Smallwood? No, I can't remember. Check the website. Let me check the website real fast. So I bought that from somebody from our group from the past. He doesn't purchase cards today, but he used to. And he was selling that, and I bought it off of him. Ran into him on eBay. Okay, checking the website. So on the website, I've got one mark order, which we completed. And I have 2 Keyhune Row orders, which are both completed. And then after that, I don't have any more orders. Is that fossil set? I actually don't know. I've never opened Thunderstorm. Might be a combination of like base set and fossil set. And it'll have a Cosmos Zapdos in it, and it'll probably be in poor condition. But we're going to test it out, just see where it goes. I mean, we opened up that Gyarados out of that one deck, and that was in poor condition. Whoops, never hit place. Ah, there we go. Okay. So, by the way, while we're doing that, let me look up this Alakazam. So he is a Staff Alakazam. PSA 9. Staff Alakazam. You don't know what's inside? The deck's random. It's not random. No, it's not random. It's usually a set number of cards in there with a certain order to it. So you'll know exactly what's in there. I've just never personally opened one of those. Okay, his price is coming down to $170. It's really cool. I'm going to make a video out of that one. There we go. Alakazam. Rockets Moltres. Let's see about this Rockets Moltres. So this one can say 208 Moltres. Still fancy one to open. Yeah, it was a little bit pricey. We made a deal off of eBay, so we removed the deal from eBay and did it in private. And as a result, I was able to get a better price. See? Nice, right? Oh, wait, this isn't stamped. Okay, this one is stamped, right? Okay, good. So this card is overpriced at $85. I don't know where that price came from. Okay. This is now $35. So we're seeing a price drop on Alakazam, price drop on Rockets Moltres. How about that Mantine? Let's see what's going on with him. He's really cool. Now that Mantine is a Rocket Returns card. And I might want to sell him pretty carefully, actually. Karis and I are just finishing Season 4 of The Walking Dead, and Season 5 is starting up, and I gotta say, it's super boring. The Walking Dead falls off really fast after a certain point. It just is not exciting. Okay, let me back out of here. PSA 8 returns Mantine. There's just nothing really to compare it to. Let me check PSA 9. Super boring. All right, so I think we got the 8 price because the PSA 9 price is $500. So that's probably where that's getting. It was really good the first few seasons, then it gets boring. Yeah, we're at the part where it's officially kind of boring. Yep. They just got kicked out of the jail, and now they're on the road, and it's just like, man, how do you get reinvested in the next part of the story, you know? Like, it's just, I know what's coming, right? I know what's next in the story, but it's like, I don't know if I want to be on that journey with them. All right. Good. It was still a good series, though. Yeah, it was pretty good. I liked what they did with redeveloping the governor, that guy. And I think they did a pretty good job defining, you know, like, him as a bad guy near the end. You know, it actually got kind of philosophical, pieces of it. Is like when Herschel asks him, he says, how can you hurt someone's daughter having daughters yourself? You know, if you have a daughter, how can you hurt someone else's daughters? And that's kind of an important question for the governor because he's this guy who's really obsessive about his daughter that passed away. And he looks at Herschel, who's, you know, all tied up and captured, and he says, because they're not mine. Really, really interesting, because what the show's trying to imply is, like, the idea of paternity is maybe one of the reasons that humans got to kill each other. We kill each other over what's ours. It's like, this is mine. Private property. This is mine. It belongs to me. Actually, I remember when I was learning German, the German linguist, the teacher, he was talking about how the earliest humans, the very earliest humans, some of the earliest words ever invented were mine. Mine was one of the earliest words that humans learned to write down on paper, on, you know, like in the stones and stuff like that. An expression for ownership. Jacob Chickering, Moltres, 1 Poke Shuffle. You got it. All right, here's the Moltres. The words me, mine were really important. This is mine. Okay, which kind of makes sense. I mean, it's a fun thing to think about. There's that Beatles song too. How does that one go? Me, my, mine. I don't remember the name of the song. It's a really clever song. It's from like their last album, isn't it? Here we are. But I believe the teacher was talking about how in every language, that's one of those words that's really well defined. One pokey shuffle. But so in the TV show, The Walking Dead, the governor's got Herschel all tied up. He's going to go off to go attack Rick in the prison. And Herschel's like, how can you attack, you know, my daughters if you have a daughter of your own? And he says, it's because those aren't my daughters. He says, they aren't mine. Boop. One cold one. Sorry, Jacob, that's a cold pokey shuffle. Really interesting. I love the perspective that maybe the root of a lot of struggles and problems is not wanting to be a collective, not wanting to share everything, but being selfish and saying, hey, this is mine, so I win, you lose. There's a hierarchy that emerges. And, of course, he's portrayed as the bad guy rather than the good guy, right? As if private property is bad, the commune is good. There we go. Okay. When do you think PSA grading will be available again? How far along are the remaining orders? Oh, I remember this. Hathim wanted me to look up the Beckett grading, didn't he? All right. Very good. I mean, they're in some process. It's going to take forever, man. That's all we know is it's going to take forever. I think one of them was kind of further along, but I don't remember which one. All right, let's see. So I'm trying to remember. I think your item, the Pikachu, is at the very end here. Yeah, I believe this is the Pikachu. And this one just says active. That's all it says. It says active. Mega Evolution, Ascended Heroes, Pikachu. There you go. So Mr. Hathim, it says active. I'll just look him up. Oh, maybe I can't look him up. I thought I could. All right, I don't know if he's still watching, but so the progress on the BGS submission is that it's at active. Can we make a Gym Hero spot the next trade break? Can we make a Gym Hero spot the next trade break? Yeah, I was just saying we should do that. So here it is. We'll say Gym Heroes. $33. We'll say 1, 2, and 3. So 3 people can jump in here for a, it's called a gym break, and is for a spot in the Gym Heroes pack split. $33 a piece. It adds up to 100. Only one person walks away with the spot. It's like a chance to lose $33. So there you go. We got one of these running. And we need to pick a card out to be the next trade card, don't we? We need a new card for the trade break. I wonder what it should be. PSA got through 1 million cards of their backlog in 2 weeks. They're at 11 million backlog and reopen up when backlog is 5 million. So we can estimate 12 weeks. Nice, 12 weeks. Assuming nothing goes wrong, of course. This Hypno's kind of cool. 40 bucks. That's not much. No, I mean, make it a $5 entry. Oh, no, we can't do that. No. That would take too long. Let's get a real card up here. Is this mine? I thought this was someone else's. Sabrina's Abra? No, this is mine, right? And it failed to get a 10. All right, Ishigo. This Darkrai 9, that's Black Star promo. Keep an eye on that guy. I like this Abra for maybe the next trade break. What do you guys think about this Abra? Think he'd make a good trade break? No, grab this. Dang, all right. I guess that's not that bad, all things considered. All right, here we are. So he will be $5, 1 in 14. So we do have a new trade break. It's this Sabrina's Abra first edition from Gym Heroes. Cool, man. Now, if you're wanting to, you can make a trade toward the trade break. Who wants to make a trade toward the trade break? There it goes. All right. Good. Let's see. I can also help you guys consign raw cards from your bag. That's also an option. Next up, we have Mark Kaplan. All right, Mark, keeping us busy tonight. Let's see what you got. So, Mark, 1 Japanese, 151. Let's see. Here we are. 1 Japanese, 151. 3 blue sky streams. Let's grab those blue sky streams. We're looking for Rayquaza VMAX Altart in the blue sky streams. 1, 2, 3. This. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and 2 Japanese Ancient Roar. Okay, 2 of these Ancient Roars. And 2 Pokey Shuffles. All right, you got it, man. 2 Pokey Shuffles. Good luck. GD5, the Gundam set. Ah, man, I wish we had it, but it's not here yet. It's not here yet. Yeah, we're in purgatory. We're waiting. We're in limbo. We're waiting for the new sets. We are. We're still having fun. There's other things to open. There's 2 cold ones. All right. I'd love to hear more about other sets you guys would like to see on the menu. Maybe something I don't currently have. Maybe a new Marvel set. Something I haven't heard about. Maybe a new KU set. We got rid of all those SpongeBobs. Remember the SpongeBobs? This. Here we are. Oops. All right. Good. Mr. Mark, we've got Chansey, Rayquaza. Ooh, he's scary. Gem 6 coming out next month. I saw that. That was like an Applin set, right? Was there anything else in there? Because, man, I truly cannot get excited for Applin. It's just Applin. Here we are. That one might definitely be a skip. Okay, here's Serena. And here's Latios. What do you think of the AGS grading? I just got a slab back from them. It's not bad. They use AI to grade everything. Yeah. I'm not a huge fan. It's the only exclusive, but I don't know what the other ARs are. Yeah. The only exclusive is an Applin. What are they thinking? They gotta have like one other. They should have like an exclusive Bulbasaur in there or something cool like that, man. All right, so that's all right. Applin has his day in the sun. Oops, hold on. Let's put this bag back. We're gonna grab this baggie. Why not a fan? Why not a fan of AGS? I think their whole like AI grading shtick is sort of false advertising to a certain degree. Like they overemphasize that they have AI grading. It's AI grading, and it's like I think that I would like to know how all the other grading companies do their grading too, because I think the way that they imply that they're the company that has like computers detecting flaws, I think it sort of is, I don't know. I think it's unfair sort of, because it's like for Tag, for example, they don't call themselves the AI grading company, and yet they show off the flaws on your cards, just like, you know, they might have had a tool-assisted machine telling them where the flaws are. Who's to say PSA doesn't have that? Who's to say CGC doesn't have that? Who's to say BGS doesn't have that? So for AGS to go around pretending like they've got some sort of brilliant, computer mechanism doing the grading for them, a human can't do what we're doing. First of all, I think it's disingenuous, because at the end of the day, the person who applies the grade is a human. So they probably review what the computer looks at, and then they go, okay, it's going to get XYZ grade. And then when I asked them about the software that they use, it's not truly proprietary. They actually license already existing software, and then they just tweak it. So it's like, they're not really a technology company from that perspective in my eyes. So if you're not the person who originated the supposed AI software, you're just a startup company that went and probably purchased rights to imaging software that can highlight, like a blur or something, same with like what the dentist is using these days. So you pick up a piece of software that can detect a scratch or something, and you say, we've got AI and no one else does. It's like, bro, everyone's going to have AI if they don't already. And so what are they really showing off? I mean, I'm not impressed by it, I guess, ultimately. It's like bragging about having, you know, a 3-inch weenie. Like, everyone's got a 3-inch weenie, dude. Like, what's the big deal? Why is this impressing me at this point? So I think that's the problem with AGS is I don't have anything against their business model. I don't have anything against their slab or the work they're doing, but it's the advertisement, the heavy emphasis on AI kind of makes me feel like I'm being sold, you know, snake oil. That's how it feels. It feels too much like a used car salesman. But what would a used car salesman look like in the realm of card grading? Well, it might be a guy who's got some cheapo AI grading software that's not proprietary, and they're just claiming, hey, we got AI, we got AI, we got AI. Ultimately, it's just a little scanner that scans your card, and some imaging software detects scratches. Like, is it really that impressive? So they're leaning heavily into that term. Robot grading, AI software. They're leaning into a trend when I'm not looking for the trend. I'm looking for the company that simply is the best. That's what I'm looking for, and that's going to be PSA. And we don't know what kind of crazy software software PSA is using, because they would never brag about what software they're using. You know why? Because you don't need to know their method. You don't need to know, you know, their trade secrets. They don't need to brag about their trade secrets. They simply are the best, you know. And so that's what's good about it. And same with the CGC. CGC is not, you know, bragging about their trade secrets on how they grade. And so, yeah, I don't know. AGS just rubs me the wrong way, and they always have. Very good. All right, they claim to have a patented system. That's all. I don't think they're claiming to be the only ones using AI to grade. Mr. has the pack split gone off. Here it is. It's called the pack split. We have two of them, Phantom Forces and Gem Heroes for $100. Neither have gone off. There's 6 spots in here, and there's 6 spots in here. You're welcome to buy in. We're looking for more people to join. We have this Gem Heroes. This is actually a gem break for a $33 buy-in, and this will give you a 1 1/3 chances to be turned into a card in here. So you can jump in there if you'd like. All right, you can also check in our Discord server. It's called the Breaks channel, Breaks History channel. You can check there, and that will also inform you if a break has gone off. All right, thank you for the questions. What is next? I believe we finished the Mark Kaplan order. All right. I'm in the Gem Heroes. Nice. Yeah, we need more spots to sell, so it's got a little ways to go. What do we have here? We've got Rosalina. Ooh, Rosalina. That's beautiful for only $25. Wow, Cubone looking so good. How did that only get a 9? Is that worth regrading, I wonder? Oh, it's got a red dot right there. That's probably why. All right, fair enough. Beautiful card, though. I mean, it's a worthy 9. Here's Pikachu Yellow Deck. $400 for the 9. Crazy. Then we have Heart Gold Soul Silver Hair Cross for $95. So none of these are going to sell. They're all too expensive. Metagross PSA 8 for $95. All right, pretty crazy. These are really good, these two guys. Now look at it. They encapsulated these differently. This got put into a regular holder, and they used a sleeve on the card, whereas this went into a poker-sized holder. I kind of like this one better. It just is centered better. But then on the other hand, you know what's interesting? We've noticed that these can get pinched on the top, and I doubt this one can ever get pinched on the top. So I wonder if I could just wiggle him down into the middle a little bit. Did it work? It doesn't look like it worked. I need a Miriam. I just want to be here when it goes off. Yeah, me too, man. Yeah, it's at 4 out of 6. It's very pricey. I wouldn't anticipate it, you know, going off anytime super soon, primarily because it's just, it's outside of some people's price range. Well, guys, let's see what we can do. Since we're having a slow night, why don't I hit refresh on all of these, just make sure there's nothing to do. It's 4:13. We've been live for an hour and 44 minutes. Why don't I can either run through all the 9s, or I can clean up the table. That's an interesting concept. I haven't cleaned anything in a while. Look at this. Here's a whole baggie of booster packs. These come out of a box. Oh, see these Burning Shadow packs? These are really good. So these Burning Shadow packs, they should be print wave 1. So they should be really, really good in terms of being able to give you a shot at an actual PSA 10 on like a full art if you're lucky enough to pull one. Here's Cosmic. Don't we have a Cosmic box? Can I put this in the Cosmic box? Let's see. Let me back up. We need to work on what we don't have. Like, I think we need to make a new jumbo pack. We never made one. Huh, I don't see a Cosmic Eclipse box back here. I thought we would have had one. I must have thrown it out. I'll put these in with the Fates Collide. So we'll keep them in the same box for fun for now. Have you heard of those companies that do CT scannings? Yeah, I've heard about that. People have talked about that for a while, actually. Whoa. Well, this is cool, man. Here's a Crimson Invasion. We're going to put that with the Crimson Invasion. So we actually have a box of that. Okay, let's see. Crimson. Here it is. Okay, Crimson pack. Imagine that Crimson pack had Pikachu in it. Here's a Vivid pack. Now, these aren't very expensive. I don't think they are. Breakthrough, Roaring Skies, Steam Siege. How cool is that, man? Brilliant Star, Sun and Moon base set. Do we not have Sun and Moon base set on our menu? Because I've got some booster boxes of Sun and Moon base set. I know I took a lot of products off the menu at some point. Okay, wait a second. Okay, yeah, we don't have this listed on the menu. That's interesting. We probably could. How much is that Vivid Voltage? How much is that Vivid Voltage? I don't know. Let's get these put away as well. So, after we got ripped off by the one guy, he was opening all my XY products. Makes me sad. Put this in here. We'll put this in here. We'll put this in the Ancient Origins box. Okay. All right, Steam Siege, huh? Brilliant Stars, Lost Origin, Burning Shadows, Breakpoint. Let me put the Breakpoint away. They need to start putting lead shielding in the boxes. That's an interesting idea, man. That is an interesting idea. It's too late for vintage boxes for that to happen, you know? It's too late for that to happen. All right, that was nice. So we cleaned up all that. Vivid Voltage. Do you guys want Vivid Voltage back on the menu by any means? Vivid or Darkness? You know, Darkness Ablaze, that set had a Lugia in it. It's really, as it gets older, it's going to be valuable again. It's weird, but that's the truth. Let's see. Vivid Voltage Booster Box. Vivid Voltage. Wow. It's definitely gone up over time. This used to be cheaper. Divided by 36. So it's about $12. Okay, I was selling them for like $10. Maybe I shouldn't have been so fast with that. I should have priced them appropriately. Vintage stuff you can waive. Vintage has been hacked for a while already because of that. Not to this level. Mark Kaplan's back again, keeping us busy. He says, 1 Japanese, 151. All right, let's get it, man. Let's get you some hits. Ooh, you ready? So we got 151, Mr. Mark Kaplan. 3 of the Korean Blue Sky Stream. 1, 2, 3. Oh, yeah. Come on now. Ow, my fingers. 3 Korean Blue Sky Streams. 2 of the Japanese Ancient Roars. I'd love to see a whole box of Final Fantasy get open. I feel like I haven't seen that in so long. One more try. 2 Pokey Shuffle Snipes. You got it, man. Okay, ready? Hey, what's up, Miss Sarah? How are you? Happy Saturday night. But now you can CT scan the vintage packs and know exactly what's in them. That's what's crazy, is that a heavy base set is like 3,000, but you can get all 3 starters for under 1,200. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Yeah, it's pretty scary, man. I've got a lot of Pokemon booster packs that have probably never been scanned because I've been collecting them for a while. Okay. Ready? Da-da-da. Snipping time, baby. Let's get a clip. We need a clip, people. Do you have any graded booster pack art sets for sale? You're talking about graded booster packs. And I don't know if I have anything that you're looking for sale, but I still do have some of those Wax Packs Mario cards. Are you ready? From the past. Here we are. And, oh, Medicam. Look at that Medicam. Nice. And here's Ditto. Look at that Ditto. All right. Pretty standard round there. What you're doing is you're scraping through a couple packs at a time. If you keep going, Mark, eventually you do hit whatever's in the box. So you'll hit whatever is in each of the boxes you're scraping through. There it is. That's kind of what Jeff Leon likes to do. He likes to open like 2 packs at a time, and then ding, 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 he'll hit like the hit. There is a risk to it, I guess. The risk is someone else can swoop in sometimes. Can I CT scan your Poke Shuffle box real quick? You probably could. I don't know if it would help you, though. I'd still shuffle it next time you ordered. All right. I got a lot of vintage booster packs, and I mean a lot. You guys want to see? Sometimes we flex a little bit. We call it flexing, I guess. I don't know. Watch this. I'm going to show you guys some fun shit. All right, so I guess we'd start here with my box of rocket packs. There it is. And then we'd probably move over here. Now, these are my vintage booster packs that actually don't fit anywhere. Actually, this should go in here, like this. Now, these just don't fit anywhere. It's a nice little stack of them. And then, whew, I built this up. Ow! I built this up over the last, I don't know, couple of years. All right. There we have it. I don't know how many booster packs are in here. You can kind of see it sideways. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's a lot. I don't know. Actually, there's another round of packs somewhere. What do you guys think this is worth now? I built this up over the last couple of years. What's going on here, every time I sold you guys a booster pack, I tended to buy 2 booster packs so that I didn't really make any money. I just restocked whatever you purchased. TCC Light. Oh, that's from the box break. That's cool. Are they heavy packs? They're all unweighed, so unless it was marked like that one that said light. So presumably, some of these are heavy. But give me a second. I want to grab one more thing. I actually have more light packs. Not light packs, I'm sorry. I actually have more loose packs. So I bought this all the way back when we lived in the Blue Lake house. Here it is. This pile right here. And it's all dusty too. Can you see the dust? Now you know why I sneeze all the time. But those are basically pristine packs of Japanese jungle. And it looks like it's a good amount of them, maybe about 20 packs. I don't know, maybe about 15. But that's a nice little chunk of them. And when I bought them, they might have had a value of around $170 a pack, roughly. I don't know how much they were worth. But, so there we have it. Jungle, that's all rocket. That's some packs that didn't fit into these boxes anymore. And then these boxes are just full of booster packs. It's really crazy. Why not weigh them? I strictly don't, as sort of like a policy. What I do is I just let them age. And then when I sell one to you guys, we don't weigh it. And then I buy 2 more. That's what I do. So normally, if you sell a pack, you're supposed to make money. I don't do that. If I sell 1 booster pack, I buy 2 copies of the same pack. so that I'm actually investing deeper into the hobby every single time we host a pack split. And the vintage ones take a while to go off, and they cost the most too. So there we go. That's 7 years of doing that. Let me put them away now. Actually, it looks like we might be able to fit some of these up here. Can we fit some of these in here? Okay, there we go. I'd love to actually just put these away. Look at this. That's Rocket Returns. Whew. That's pretty expensive. Rocket Returns is a pricey one. Back when I bought Rocket Returns, oh, those are Rocket packs. Whoa-wee, look at that. So these might actually be really fresh. These might have been the ones that we just purchased. Oh, that's cool. All right, grab all these. Scyther, I would just weigh them and sell them as either light or heavy for full disclosure. Nope, never doing it that way. We've never done it that way. We're gonna continue to do unweighed. That's the only way I like to do it. All right, it's easy, it's fast. Here we go. I'm gonna move this up here as well. Oh, my head's hurting. Okay, I gotta move these out of the way. All right. Honestly, if I had weighed them all this time, if I had weighed them, I probably would have charged you guys more money. That's the truth. Because the price of a heavy one would have been exceptionally high. I wouldn't have charged any kind of nice price on a heavy one. I would have charged just an exceptionally high price on a heavy pack. So we've opened so many heavy packs together and from the pack splits. And I'm just happy with the way it is. I like the way it is. I don't like to think about it. You know, it is. I let you guys take the risk on it, and I don't worry about it. All right. Oh, the Rayquaza and the Dragonite Blue Sky Stream is absolutely fire. Oh, yeah. Blue Sky Stream's a big one. That's why it's on the menu. We love that set. All right. Let's see what's happening now. So we have another Mark Kaplan order. Let's see what we got, Mr. Mark. Mr. Mark says, one of the Japanese 151s. Here you go, man. Okay. 3 more of the Korean Blue Sky Streams. So you can see how much is left. Plus $20 to turn the Magikarp, 40 Magikarp on the table into a gym break. Okay, sounds like you want to start a gym break on Magikarp. Is that what it is? 2 Japanese Roar. And you'd like to take a spot in a break. We can do that. He says if it doesn't end by the end of the stream, I'll buy it outright. Oh, I see. All right, well, if anyone's looking for some action, we have a guy who wants to get into a gym break here on a Magikarp, and he's going to buy both sides of it if no one joins him. Where'd it go? Is it in the A's box right now? Is it... Where is this Magikarp? Where did you see it? Oh, man, it's going to be in, like, one of the boxes already, isn't it? Let's see. Ah, there it is. It's that, isn't it? Call of Legends Magikarp? Is that what you're referring to? It's got to be this one. Okay, that's Call of Legends Magikarp. 20, 1 and 2. Yes, sir. Okay, so this is officially a gym break. It's going to have 1 person in it already. Okay, there it is. We have a gym break with 1 guy in it. You can join it as well for $20. Let's grab this. Please look up Jolina Gazelle collection. I'll take them all. Sending you money on Zelle right now. How's 1 million? Oh, okay. Let's see, Mr. Mark, Mr. Mark. Imagine if you had a crystal ball or a time machine and you could like go back in time and buy up tons and tons and tons of these vintage Pokemon cards back when they were $3 a pack. Could you imagine how wealthy you'd be today? Okay, there it is. So we got one person in there. We need one more person. This is also a gym break for a spot in the Gym Heroes pack split. $33 buy-in. So far, I haven't seen any interest. Okay, you ready? Boy, if I knew how high Pokemon was going to go, I'd have held so many more cards. I would have hodled. All right, what do we got? Code. Oh, more Pecco. Blue Sky Stream. Code. Oh, Dragonite. The binder I had as a kid would make me rich, I tell you. I tell you what. Yeah. A lot of stories just like that one out there, sadly. All right, nothing crazy coming out of here. Popping this over here. Still looking for that hit in the Blue Sky Stream, huh? And then 151. Little oddish. Ooh. Mr. Stays with the heat. Now, I like it when it's comfortably air conditioned. That's for Mr. Mark. Okay, Magikarp, guys. Jump in there if you want a gym break. There it goes. Good. Wow, just a couple people making the stream busy tonight. Mark, Hathim. There you are. Let's see who's next. Mr. Jacob Chickering's in. My parents saw cards as a cheap way to keep me entertained. Nice. Well, you know, I told the story of working for my dad, and he paid me, actually. He paid me, get this, $3 an hour. That's what I earned working for him, and I worked a lot. So, you know, I would work like 20 hours and get paid like 60 bucks. So what do you think I would go do? I'd go buy Pokemon cards, actually. And I wouldn't, he gave me like a schedule to write down how many hours I was working. I would never write it down. There's just something about it that didn't feel right. Like, I know the money I earned for my dad was just going to my family, and we were always on the brink of like not being able to pay our mortgage, not being able to afford, you know, hundreds and hundreds of dollars of food for 11 kids. So I often severely underreported, like whole weeks would go by and he'd be like, well, you got to report your hours or something. I was like, okay. You know, so I would underreport, and he would pay me some money. So I get like 60, 80 bucks here and there. So it wasn't all bad working as a kid, as a teenager, working for my dad. I'd actually make money. And what do you think I did with that money? I bought almost all of it, just went to Pokemon cards. And so I had a really good Pokemon card collection before I left home. So, so ridiculous that I didn't bring it with me. What a mistake, dude. You just don't think of that kind of stuff. You are. I did a lot of writing when I was younger. I wrote like stories and poetry and stuff like that. And so when I left, I actually prioritized grabbing all of that stuff because I wanted it to remain private, essentially. I didn't want anyone else seeing it. I was an extremely secretive kid when I was younger. I had like this rich inner world, and you're used to me talking a lot, I guess, as the host of the stream. I talk all the time, but I was insanely quiet and secretive when I was a kid. I almost didn't talk at all. There would be months where I wouldn't like say a word. I would just be extremely quiet and avoid talking. And that was like a strategy, actually. So if you didn't talk, you couldn't get in trouble. That was it. I would avoid talking for huge stretches of time, like a whole week could go by, and you could get in trouble for that too, actually, if, you know, you seemed like you were too withdrawn or too unhappy. But that was a whole strategy, not talking was, because if you didn't share any opinions, you couldn't get in trouble for bad opinions. Pretty much the opposite of what we do here, isn't it? Now we share all kinds of bad opinions. Maybe I still get in trouble for it. Mr. Stays with the metal. He's something like a magnet. When he slides through, he's something like Aladdin. What? My parents saw cards as a cheap way to keep me entertained. All right, here goes Mark and Jacob Chickering. You ready? Zamazenta. He's decent. He's actually stronger now that we've added 4 weak Pokemon to the deck. Oh my gosh, but he gets his butt kicked by Electivire. Round 1, Jacob Chickering. Round 2. You just can't catch a break, Mr. Jacob. I'm sorry, Mr. Mark. There it is. That's going to be Elekid, the weakest card in the deck, coming out for you on round 2. That sucks, dude. Isn't this a nostalgic card? This is actually a rare card from Neo Genesis. I had a bunch of these. Here we are. All right. Yeah, you would pull that card in place of a holo, and it was like, oh, God, another Elekid. Oh, man. Yeah. You even got Magikarp in your name. I know you like Magikarps. I'm sorry, man. All right, it goes to Mr. Jacob Chickering. Tonight hasn't been a super lucky night, Mr. Mark. I think that the trick here has been that you should have gone balls deep, balls to the wall. Should have just gotten a whole box of 151, a whole box of Ancient Roar, a whole box of Blue Sky Stream. All right. Oh, that's a CS-Man card as well. We have to pay him out. So that was a consigned card. So now he's gone. I wouldn't even need like 1,000 packs. I would only need a few and I'd be so happy. Yeah. Jacob, is the card more enjoyable because you pulled it this way? Like, is it like a funny memory now? There it is. Creating good memories. I like that as a card shop. Creating good memories. So his payout should be $30 if I'm not mistaken. He's got a pretty serious card now, and I believe he's intending to spend it all on, here it is, on the new set Pitch Black, which we're getting soon. Okay. This will go up to 867. 67. Okay. Happy Saturday, by the way, guys. What do you guys do this Saturday? You know what I did? I slept in, and then I went swimming, and then I went to the Chinese buffet. That's it. Pretty uncomplicated day for me. Okay, let's go to the Consignment Sold channel. I was thinking about giving it to him, but I'm torn. Maybe you can offer to sell it to him for, say, $25. You make a cool little $5 profit. That's still pretty generous if he's interested in it. All right, so that's just an idea. You don't have to do anything. It's yours. Let's go to Consignment Sold. We're going to say CS-Man, Magikarp, 9, $40. So another Magikarp. I'll just say Call of Legends. There we go. I just got home from work. Hey, what's up, Mr. Alexio? Here's Alexio Alvarez, Gym Break. The Gym Break, the one that just went off already. Sorry, man. Yeah, $20 now. Cool. Tell him to send in 25 and I'll keep it as store credit. So, Mark, if you wish to have that Magikarp, you can for $25. Jacob Chickering makes a cool profit of $5. So that is an option if you'd like. It's a little bit better than, you know, well, I mean, it's an option. So think it over. $25. If you send that in, I turn it into store credit for him. Okay, that's Jacob Chickering. I just missed it. Yeah, I'm sorry. Now, you guys can turn anything into a gym break if you wish. So just let me know if you see another card you'd like to do a gym break on. They're pretty popular, actually, is what I noticed. A lot of people want to do gym breaks. I'm going to mark Magikarp as sold. All right, good. The Magikarp was the sacrifice. Nice. He's offering to sell it to you for $25. I'd take that deal if I were you. I'd be tempted at least. All right. So let me put this over here for Alexio. You got $20, Alexio. Don't forget that. And then 151. Okay, here goes. 4 of the Blue Sky Streams. 2, 3, 4. Okay, 4 of these. 2 Ancient Roars. All right. Good. The Magikarp was the sacrifice. All right, look at all that. Ready? Snipping time. Good. Oh yeah, sure, why not? All right, sounds good. Sounds like you're gonna have $25, Mr. Jacob. Here's the Goldfish. Here's a cold one. Here's the Blue Sky Stream. Here's Gyarados. Oh, lovely Gyarados. Cold. Cold. All right, popping this back over here. And finally, oh, picking up the Master Ball Boss's Orders. Cool, man. Look at that. Or whatever this is. So there's your Master Ball. It's going to be Mr. Giovanni. Looks cool. If you're a Rocket fan, you might like that one. Setting this back over here. All right. Popping this up into your bag. So a Master Ball has popped out now. We haven't, I don't think we've seen anything from the Ancient Roar or the Blue Sky Stream. Though keep in mind, with the Korean packs, it's always possible it's a cold box. But that wasn't a very common thing. Usually they did have a hit in them. Just there was a risk of it. So let me take another look at this order, make sure it's all completed. Quantity 2, $80. Oh, make sure that your order was correct. Order number 3,000, excuse me. Order number 3,625. Make sure that it was correct, because it looked like you might have sent for it twice. Yeah, you might have sent it in twice. Just run the same one back? All right, you got it. Seems fair to me, because you're in the queue for it. 4 Blue Sky Streams. So here is the Blue Sky Streams. That's actually the remainder of that box. So we're about to find out if it was a cold box. And then the 2 Ancient Wars. And then we need a new box of the Blue Sky Stream. Let's go get a new box of it. Be right back. Right. So this is the next box. Snip of that. Blue Sky Stream Ray Ray. Oops. Popping this in here. All right, good. Now, let's open it up. All right, guys. Snipping this. Snipping these. We got 44 watchers. Damn, dude, that's kind of low. Snip this. We're 2 hours in. It's a low viewership. Tossing this over here. Must be a slow day. Here's Doug Trio and Volcarona. Almost said Venomoth. I like Volcarona, by the way. Here's a cold one. Here's that guy. Oh, is this a cold box? I do feel bad for you. You were basically barking up a cold box. So, you know, in the Korean booster boxes, especially the older ones, like Eevee Heroes, Blue Sky Stream, every box does not guarantee a hit. As crazy as that sounds. But so, like, maybe about 1 every 10 boxes, you will have a cold box. And then what'll happen, somewhere in the case, there's a double hit box. So one of the boxes will actually have 2 hits in it. That sucks, dude. Let's see what we got here. We got this guy, and how about this? Wow, just a rough round for you tonight, I feel. All right, nothing crazy coming out of Ancient Roar. Cold boxes below. I tell you what, that was a cold box. I'm going to give you a spot in the second chance bounty. Mark Kaplan. There you go, Mr. Mark. Hit that like. Only got half likes to viewers. Means a lot to Mr. Yeah, I don't know what the likes are. You know, this new app we've been using doesn't actually tell me. It says we got 22 likes. That's actually pretty good. Yet, getting 50% of the viewers to hit the like button is pretty solid. That's usually my goal, at least. So thank you guys for being so generous. All right, so this goes into Mark's bag. Thank you, Mark. All right. All right. Not as much activity in the Poke Shuffles and the live customs tonight. People must have burned through a lot of their cash on that, or here we are, felt the burn. And said, whoa, I don't know if I can handle another one of those. Next up, we have a Sarah Dusenberry order, and she says 2 live custom, 10 Poke Shuffles, 5 OP16s, and 5 Chaos Rising packs. You know, we had Mr. Hathim in here, and he was gobbling up those OP16 English packs, and you know what he didn't do? He did not snipe you, actually. So whatever comes out next, probably going to be good. It looks like we need a new box of it, actually. So we're going to be getting a new box of that. And then live costumes. You're in luck, Sarah, because if he had not done that, you would definitely be pulling cold ones. Because I think his were kind of cold. So you're lucky tonight for that. Ready? Cold. Cold. All right, well, you're still cold. You got 2 live customs, and they were 2 cold ones. How about this? 10 Poke Shuffles. I'm here for the scalper crash outs. No! Gotta grab this. Let's see. Ugh. How's it going, man? So I'm gonna grab this. We got a 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. What do we have here? We've got Poker Dratini. There you go. Poker Dratini. Very nice. I bought a lot of Korean back then. From Korean EV Heroes, I have the Umbreon, Glaceon, Jolteon, Flareon, V-Alts. Nice. Well, that's a lot of blank cards there. We're ready to start putting more cards into the Poke Shuffle. So, let's see what this Dratini looks like, Sarah. And you can tell me whether you want to keep it or whether you want to re-roll it. Up to you. Here it is, Dratini. 45, huh? So it's been re-rolled once before. This is 1998, Dratini 10, blueback. It's at $45. You just pulled it. And if you re-roll it, you'll re-roll it for $40. Okay. Now, you think about that. Let me go get a fresh box of OP16, because we need a fresh box. Here we are. I'm climbing in. Keep. All right, sounds good. Probably a smart move there. The value on it was about 55. Now, let's snip this. How about this Cubone for 350? Isn't that wild? Looks so good. I know. Nowadays, people really do collect like 9s and 8s. It's a real thing. Cards are getting that expensive. 5. There it goes. Kind of like, you know, think about it back in the day when Bitcoin probably cost like $10 and you could just go buy a whole Bitcoin for $10. Now, if you buy a $10 Bitcoin, you're buying like a fraction. That's happening with Pokemon cards. We're reaching that point. The same card in an 8 is like, that's going to be like the normal card to collect rather than the 10, the impossible 10, you know? So, yeah, prices have gone up for sure, man. All right. What's this? Some hollows. Some hollows. Come on, hits. Some hollows. Edward Newgate. Ooh. We got to inject a new 10 into the Poke Shuffles, don't you think? And 2 hollows. All right. Nothing too crazy there, Miss Sarah. And 5 Chaos Rising packs. Let's go get those Chaos Rising packs. I love that you're buying these because I feel like when they came out, we didn't get enough people in them. Oh, here is a gym break we didn't get another person for. Look at that. I wasn't paying attention to this. Roki Hyun is in here. I should have been advertising this the whole time. So we need one more person in here. Roki Hyun bought 1/2 of the gym break, and it's $20 for the other half. All right. Cool, man. She's donating these. Thank you, Sarah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Vintage 10s will only be for the whales now. Yeah, essentially, it's going to do what Bitcoin did, where it's just going to be like, oh, this card in a 10 is 60,000. Well, if you want the $500 version of it, you got to buy like PSA 2 or something like that, you know? So it's doing the same thing. All right. I withdrew that to my store credit before. Oh! You know what? I should have marked your name off. That's what I should have done. So we'll say 1, 2. Still an option to join this, though, guys. It's a bit of fun. Okay. What do we have here? Nitro Energy. Thanks for letting me know. That was good. Here's Roxy's Performance. Ooh. Musabot over here being nice. Here's Vixen. Okay. Here's Zubat. And here's Cobalion. It's Cobalion. Ooh, Cobalion. He's a Pokemon. I like Chaos Rising. I think it's got a lot of good hollows in it, if you think about it. All right, Sarah, here's your bag on the table. Did you guys hear about the new Star break, the new Star box break? And this time it's a vintage booster box of G.I. Joes. Put that in there. Put this in here. All right. So, you did well in the Poke Shuffles. I feel like the other stuff, maybe not as much. So this, that's the new box break. It's G.I. Joe. This one's a bit more expensive. I actually bought this as a joke when Logan Paul got that case of base set and it was all G.I. Joe packs. I ran off and I bought some G.I. Joe packs because I was thinking, how funny would it be if I sent in a box of G.I. Joe to be graded by the company that supposedly graded his base set case. So it was supposed to be a joke, and I never actually executed it. I never did it. So in the end, I actually just ended up selling these G.I. Joe cards like standard cards. So here's another box of it. Da-da-da. Very nice. I remember that. So funny. Love the Thailand Pokemon break. Perfect Order has some underrated ARs too. Yeah, exactly. Not just ARs, but it also has Haunter and Gengar in it that are holographic in the English version. Right, so that's pretty nice. Sip of my drink here. Hypno. Darkrai, which might be underpriced. Magneto. Naked Girls. And Parasect. All right. What is happening next? We have a Mr. Mark Kaplan order. He says 2 more 151, 4 more Ancient Roar, plus 25 for the Magic card. There it is. Jacob Chickering, you now have a $25 gift card. Store card. Credit card. Store credit card. Go, Mr. Mark. All right. G.I. Joe, bro. That's right. Do you guys think that was fake? Do you think they all knew that it was full of G.I. Joe packs? And they were just trying to scam people? That's sort of what Rattle Pokemon implied, right? Kind of interesting. Okay, Jacob Chickering. Ooh, 25. Jacob Chickering says yes. I didn't really have time to look into all of the accusations or, like, you know, why he was suspecting that, but you never know. You never know. I gotta put this Pikachu into a nice sleeve. Look at that guy. Pikachu. That's a Gym Heroes Pikachu. You know why this card is relevant? He comes out of this pack right here. So you can pull this Lieutenant Surge's Pikachu out. Pretty neat. Now this is the English version, obviously, but the Japanese version should be extremely expensive as well. So it's not all about the holographic and the Misty's Tears cards. There's other really good cards in that set, like Misty's Psyduck and that Pikachu you just saw. That needs to go up into my collection. How much is this Lieutenant Surge's Pikachu these days? I'm curious. He is a 10 first gym Pikachu. He's priced at 1,500. Is that accurate? Wow. Oh, okay. Here's one for 1,000. Oh, that's unlimited. Wow, that's really expensive. Why is that so expensive? Last sold 1.5 thousand. Wow, 1.5. And what's the population on this bad boy? Population is pop 227. Just 227 of these guys. That's really low. Did you do the packs from the order? No, we're not done with the order. Sorry about that. All right, so let me place this over here. I was just doing a little cleaning. So 2 more of the 151s. My brain kind of does that. It'll, like, do things in between. Maybe that's why I sometimes forget an order. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so 2 of these and 2 of these. Beautiful. 2 of these and 4 of these. Let's sneap them up. Do you deliver to the UK? Yeah. Yes, we do. We've been shipping to the UK for like 7 years. Some of our biggest buyers are in Canada and the UK, and sometimes Germany. All right, we have a lot of international buyers. This is a really nice card, believe it or not. This Charizard graded 10 is now kind of expensive. And here's Ghastly. Okay, we got a nice Ghastly. Yep, we ship all over the globe. We're very good at it too. Let's say you open up a whole booster box of Pokemon cards. When we declare it, we're not going to declare it for the sealed price of the box. We're going to just, you know, come up with the little price for whatever card you pulled. So we'll try and help you out. Ooh, that looks great. We'll try and help you out with the declarations. We try to keep the declarations as low as possible. It is. Hey, what's up, local Soul Reaper? Hold. And we've got the deer, whatever the heck he is, the 4-legged, hoofed-looking Pokemon. Cool. All right, let's go grab your bag. Ooh. I should have just kept your bag next to me all night. I keep putting it back in the shipping place. I'm going to set it right here just in case. Let's see. I'm going to set it right here. Hey, now your bag is right next to me. Okay, lovely. Next up, we have an order from Natalie. Welcome back, Natalie. 2 packs of English OP16. Natalie sniping the OP16. I didn't see that coming. I really didn't see that coming. All right. Natalie Kastanen. Hello, Natalie. How are you tonight? All right. Natalie pulls. You do pull Buggy. And you also pull. You pull Shiryu. All right. No super snipe this time, though. Sorry. Okay, let's find your bag then. Wow. What are those doing there? Nathan, Peter, Patrick, Picalo, Nick, Nicholas. Is this a new bag? We making a new bag for you, Miss Natalie? Maybe this is a new bag, everybody. Here's a Nathan Mitchell, Curtis, Kendo. I miss Kendo Pallor. Where is he? Tell him to get his butt back here. Who is it? That's going in the trash. All right. New bag for Miss Natalie. Ooh. Okay. Good. Okay. Natalie Kastanen. Good. Good. You received a new order. Very nice. All right. How you guys feeling tonight? How's everybody? It's pretty quiet tonight, huh? Look, we got 49 viewers and it's quiet. Too quiet. Oops. There it goes. All right, so we got a fresh bag for you going into the end boxes. Good luck out there, Miss Natalie, if you go in again. Hold on, whose bag is this? Oh, wait. Here's your bag right here. You just had a really thin bag that has simply fallen over in the box. Oh, my gosh. Well, here, let's give you this bag. This bag's nicer. It's got 2 stickers. So we'll give you... We'll convert your stuff into this bag. Oh, my gosh. I have a small bag. Oh, okay. So here we are. Here's your small bag. Very good. Make that a little easier to see. Yeah, the baggie had tipped over in the box because the box isn't very full. Thank you for that. That was 2 boosties. Next up, we have an order from... Oh, my gosh. We have a Sarah Dusenberry order. Okay, we got to click that. We have a complete collection of these Zelda poker cards. I wonder if I should sell them all as one giant group. That would be interesting, right? I wonder if somebody would buy that. Sarah says, 1 Jumbo Poke Pack, 2 Live Customs, 5 OP16s, 5 Chaos Rising. Can you also pull some bulk to enter the trade break? Okay. We got a new trade break. That's right. Here it is, guys. You want to see? So the new trade break is this first edition Sabrina's Abra. All right, 2 Live Customs. We're going to say 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Let's see if we get any luck in here. 1. 2. Coughing. Okay, we're having a little luck. Let's see what it is. 6 of clubs, Wigglytuff. Interesting. That's also a poker card. You're seeing more poker cards because our PSA returns had poker cards in them. We're supposed to also be getting tag returns full of non-poker cards, but we're not getting those. So you're just getting a lot of poker cards. Whoa, this is pretty good, actually. Here it is, 1996 Wigglytuff, and it was only priced at $150, which seems low. All right, so you can keep it or re-roll it for $150. All right, there it is. Re-roll it for $125. 5 OP16s. Let's go grab those. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. And then we also need 5 of these Chaos Risings. Keep. All right, we're keeping Wigglytuff. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look at you. You're just kind of going in and sniping stuff. That's pretty good. I would just re-up on that. That sounds good. Hard-won battles. Okay. Snipping time. Snip 2 of these, and we're going to snip 2 of these, and we're going to snip 1 of these. I should make another jumbo pack break, shouldn't I? But I haven't decided what the theme should be. What do you think the theme should be of the next jumbo pack break, guys? All right, and oh yeah. Or should there even be a theme at all? Maybe it should just be a mix of weird packs like it's always been. The jumbo pack break has always been a mix of weird packs. All right, here's this. Here's some of these. Pull some bulk for a trade spot, you say, huh? Here's this. Oh, yeah. Here's some of these. The Chaos Rising. We've got Chestnut. Pop that over there. And, oh, what do we got? Mega Floetta. Mega Floetta pops out. Boop. You're also going to pull Mega Playmat. He's a really weird looking Pokemon. I know that his, main is supposed to be like the kanji for fire or something like that, but I don't know, dude. It's weird. Weird. All right. So there we have it. Why don't we trade in this little stack for a trade spot this time, Sarah? I know you've traded in a number of these. It's a pretty small stack, actually. Let's see. Maybe I'll add just a little bit to it. Let's go grab your bag. You're right here. I tell you what. Let's add these other ones right here and call it a day. So that's $5 officially. Now I pop these in. You got Mega Floetta. That's okay, cool. We got a baggie over here. We are. All right. We were making some trades yesterday, I think. Mega what? I got sneeze so bad. Woo! See what you made me do, CS Man? This is CS Man's fault. We're not done. She needs a jumbo a jumbo Poke Pack. All right, 1 jumbo Poke Pack coming right up. There it is. Oh yeah, for you Yu-Gi-Oh enjoyers, did you know we got this now? So this is that Yu-Gi-Oh Cardos, and it's just randomly pulled. These are $3 a piece, okay? So if you want some of these really old Yu-Gi-Oh Cardos, we got some. All right, now, maybe we should bring back the Pokemon Cardos random pull box. You guys remember that? Oh, that was so cool. Let's see. Oh, more Peko. Boop. So you get a little more Peko bonus, which is not really a bonus, but it's definitely more Peko. Let's see. Mega what? Snipping this. Snipping this. Snipping these. Okay. And snipping these as well. Oh, yeah. Welcome to the ASMR Pokemon stream. Tonight we're going to be opening up Pokemon cards. That's it, guys. We're converting this over to an ASMR stream. I'm going to make, you know, chewing sounds with my mouth, and I'm going to do some of these. And we're going to do some of these into the microphone. You ready? Do some of these. All right, cool. That was Triplet Beat. That was Lost Abyss. Oh, Delmise coming out of Pitch Black, coming out of Abyss Eye. There we go. By the way, we have quite a lot of this product right here. For those of you waiting for Pitch Black, but if you haven't considered it, we've got the Japanese version of it. Paranormal Activity. Reggie Lecky. Okay, Reggie Lecky. Here's a cold one. Here's a cold one. Here's Thunder Roar. Heat Wave Aruna. Future Flash. Da-da-da. We got a Sparta or something, right? This is what? Battle Region? Come on, Battle Region. Nah, it's a Battle Region. All right, how about these guys? You just pulled the Eevee out. Here's Scarlet Violet. Cold. How about this Charizard? Reshiram. Oof. So far, so bad. Here's a cold one. Here's Kyle Gray. Team Rocket. Come on. Nope. One big hit is all we need. Mega Brave. Oh, the 151 pack. Ooh, Pikachu. Look at that. Wowee. All right, Poopachu. That's a nice one. And here's these guys. Does this deserve its own sleeve? By my Slabs people. There we go. What we got? I think you did sell one tonight. There was a $40 Magikarp and somebody hosted a gym break on it. Throwing that away. Here's Mega Dweem. Oh, wow. The Rocket Tower. That's so good. So the AR Pikachu from 151 so far has been a decent pull. And here we have Daramaka. And last but not least, oh my gosh, it's monochrome. Nope. It's Hydreigon. All right, kind of a rough round here. No special pull in this round, but the AR Pikachu, at least he was good. One Piece Slabs, question mark? We do have a one-piece slab break going on. It's kind of stagnant. It's kind of stuck there. Let me show you. The one-piece Lego slab break. Look at that. Nice heavy slab. This is their brand new slab that they have. Heavy in your hand. And he just looks fantastic. He looks like he pops up off the card. Got a nice 10. That's 8 out of 14. A lot of people in there. Just waiting for that to go off. 6 spots remain. All right, Sarah. Hello, Sarah. Grab this. Sorry about the rough round there, Sarah. I sent for a spot. Very nice. I like to hear that. Okay, that's the end of Sarah's turn. What a turn it was. So next up, I believe we have a mark order. Do we have 2 orders by Mark? It almost seems like it might be 2 orders. No. It's 1 order. Okay, so Mr. Mark. So he says 2 more Japanese 151 plus 3 packs of the new Sky Stream Box Snipe. Hopefully, they can't both be cold. Actually, I don't know how it works. So maybe they could both be cold. But here it is, 3 of these. All right. I don't think I've ever seen 2 cold boxes in a row. And then... But here's the question I have is, were these actually in a row with each other? They weren't. So I wouldn't actually know. There it is. All right. Good luck. Double snipe right here, guys. Okay. We must have a sacrificial child before, you know, the big hits come out. Oh, Lord. They didn't bring a sacrifice child. Here's Zygarde. Here's, nope, nothing coming out of there. Here's 151, and we're pulling Coughing. Oh, yeah, Gengar's good, actually. Okay, we like Gengar. And, aha, finally, Alakazam. All right. So the Gengar popping out of those 2 packs, believe it or not, is pretty good. If you go online and you look at raw prices of that Gengar, let me tell you something. Those prices are so fake, dude. Because nowadays, every Japanese guy in Japan is checking his card to see if it's going to grade 10. And if it can't grade 10, he lists it on eBay. That's how it works now. Every guy in America who pulls a Gengar, he tests to see if it's going to grade 10. And then when he sees that it's got a scratch or it's off center, he sells it on eBay. So those cards you see listed on eBay with the good prices or whatever they want to call it, those prices are fake because they don't reflect a real pack fresh Gengar like this one. All right, he might actually have a much higher chance of grading 10, although he's not guaranteed to grade 10. But he probably has a much better chance anyways. I'm really frustrated with this because I've been experiencing this lately. Like, I'll order a round of singles. They'll come in. Every single one of them is terrible with multiple... Oh, right, we left it nearby. Every single one is terrible with scratches, with fingerprints on it, with indentations. So, I place these big single orders, and then all of them are ungradable. And the only way for them to be so consistently bad is for this pile of cards he's pulling from to essentially be his reject pile for grading. That's what's going on. So I know this is going on. You're just buying someone else's PSA 10 reject pile, and it's so frustrating. So I actually don't mind if like 2/3 of them can't even come close to grading 10. But if it's like 100% of them can't grade 10, it's like, come on, bro, that's no fun. He should call them that. He should say binder only or something like that, or he should say like sub 10 or I don't know. It's annoying. All right. There we have it. Mr. Mark, thank you. Card shops have been doing that for years. Yeah, and, well, it's only gotten worse is my point. It's only gotten worse. Here's Square Cut Parasect. Isn't that crazy? Square Cut Parasect. We're going to drop his price, though. So he's getting cheaper. It's going to be $60. Okay. Good. Here's Avacyn, Angel of Hope. Here's the raw Pikachu card for sale. Here's our Topps 10 Meowth. We just priced them. Here's our Dendra for $35. And here's a Mudkip 9. All right, cool, man. Who's next? We now have an order from... Should have some UA cards, I think. I have a bag smaller. Oh, okay, I already read that. Now, Alex Garcia, 4 of the English OP16 fresh bag. Include any non-hollow leader, if any red-black card. Okay. You got some specific requirements. Well, people are all jumping after this box right now. They're trying to snipe it. Okay, and it does go to Mr. Alex. He is the oldest order, so this round goes to him. You know, it's just part of getting lucky or unlucky in the box. He's probably about to get lucky. Let's see what happens. Statistically, he should probably get lucky. We don't know, though, but probably. So, some hollows, pack number 1. Some hollows, pack number 2. Here we are. We've got Marco full art. Just one full art, though. That's why I don't buy packs from shops. I only buy full boxes. Yeah, shops are scary, man. They are very scary, actually. There goes. I think a lot of those card shops are barely making it. Not all of them, but, you know, your local card shop with the beardy guy behind the counter and his 2 employees or whatever, he's just not making a lot of money, usually. And I think that sort of tempts somebody to do stuff like that. I call it searching. And we're really good because we just don't do this. Like, for example, your OP16 packs, I never open them. And that's true for just about all the modern product, too. Although I've thought about opening, like having one case for myself or something like that to open, like, in a video, because we need to put out videos now. But anyways, as I was saying, you know, I don't really tamper with the product that comes in. And that's part of why it's so good to open over here. That's one of the hallmarks of a solid rip and ship channel. And I'm sure I'm not the only one having that sort of, you know, really consistent, really tough, you know, priorities and ethical, you know, structure and all that stuff. Some other people probably do it too. The problem is there's probably so many people that break those rules. And what's weird is I feel like the card shops probably break it more than anyone, because I swear to God, those guys don't make any money. They have all the overhead. They have to pay rent. They have to pay like employees. They have to buy like insurance and all this stuff. I don't have to do any of that, you know. For their building, they have to get insurance, right? In case somebody trips and breaks their neck, right? So they have to get a certain kind of business insurance. And I don't have to pay for any of that stuff over here from the privacy of my home. Nobody's coming in here, except for maybe Alexa's. But it's this big advantage, basically. And so I swear to God, those guys, a lot of them got to be struggling. I suspect. There's so much competition now, too, you know. There's a card shop around every corner. All right, Alex Garcia. New bag? What are we doing here, Alex? He didn't say new bag, did he? Fresh bag. Yes, he did. That's what he said. All right. Fresh baggy time. Oh, yeah. Marco Polo. That's why I don't put packs from shops. Putting this in here. Come on. Congrats sniping that full art card, huh? That's how they make money. They take advantage of noobs just getting into the hobby. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, when I very first started, I saw the ability to do that as well. Like, as we were discovering concepts like weighing and searching and all that kind of stuff, I was like, wow, dude. One of my earliest recognitions for being a rip and ship was that your reputation would be everything. I said, pretty quickly, I said, if I was somebody who was shopping, I would be paranoid that anyone's messing with the product or creating an unfair environment. So I told myself the golden goose would be, you know, being the guy who never, ever screws around with the product. That's what people want more than anything else. And I told myself, you know, if you can provide that, people will pay a premium for that. There it is. So that's part of my business strategy, is just, you know, yeah, it costs an extra $1 or so, but you know it's not screwed around with. And that's how I make my money, though, is that extra $1 or so. So, you know, you never have to worry about me doing anything nefarious, because you're already paying me, you know, you're paying me to do my job, basically. All right, let's see. So we got Mr. Alex Garcia. He says he'll also take a spot in the Luffy. You got it. That formula has worked really well for us. Here it is. All right. That Meowth. Yeah, it's a pricey one, huh? We are. Baggy over here. Good. People want that peace of mind, you know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right. Good. And not everyone does. Some people are just looking for the absolute, you know what I mean? They don't care how it's sourced or whatever. 9, 14. But we know from years of experience how much fake product and manipulated product and bad product there is out there. It's all over the place, man. All right, so here's Miss Sarah. 5 of the OP 16 packs and 1 spot on the Luffy slab. Yo, Luffy could end, guys. Luffy's pretty close. So that doesn't better. This Luffy could end. He's getting close. Oops, I did it again. Goes in here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. Yeah, Pokemon card shops and Pokemon card resellers and Pokemon card rip and shippers are rife with people looking for easy money. There are people all over who want easy money. And my version of easy money is having that perfect reputation and then just grinding that grindstone every night. Showing up to work every single day, twice a day, or on the weekends once per day, and then just having a product where I'm able to make an income and doing it correctly the whole way and protecting the brand the whole time. All right, Miss Taylor, 5 of these. It is 2, 3, 4. and a 5. That's the easy money to me. And most people will think that the easy money is like, tricking their customers or something like that, because there's just so much of that. Or if there's plenty of people who are not even card shops. They're just regular, you know, online flippers, and they go in and they buy like a case of Weiss Schwartz or something like that. They pick out the signatures, and then they're going to liquidate the boxes on eBay. That's what they're going to do. Then they're going to grade their signatures and try to make a, you know, profit on that. And the whole card hobby community's got to be loaded with those guys. They got to be all over the place. Think about it. You know, you go to work, you come home, and then you run your little side hustle because you're so smart. You're so clever. Here we are. All right. And if it's working, if it's actually making the money, they just do it even more leveraged. They just do it at a higher rate. They go, oh, I can afford 2 cases this time. You know what I mean? You got the guys trying to figure out how to do metal detecting with Pokemon. You got the guys, you know, CT scanning your vintage packs. You got guys weighing packs. It's all bad. Whoa! All right. That looks beautiful. It's Tashigi. Look at that. That's so cool, man. I'm loving the way that looks. What is that? It's like a different rarity or something. Okay. All yours. Very cool. Sweet. Miss Sarah hitting a hit. Very nice. Yeah, the metal detecting thing actually works too, as well, all the ways people have figured out how to scam. It's depressing, you know? And maybe that's part of the reason why I like shifting the business over to like Slabs, almost, because Slabs, you can't do any of that crap to Slabs. You're not going to metal detect a slab. You're not going to weigh a slab. There's no reason to. So I've reverse engineered the RNG. Like, look over here. I've created a new booster pack for you to open for a slab instead of opening booster packs to pull the chase card. Of course, this is a promo though, but you see what I'm saying, right? Like, there's other examples like, how about this guy? Okay, so this comes out of a pack, right? Well, instead of buying a pack, I just go get the slab, and then I'll make packs. I made 8 booster packs at $40 each. So I reverse engineered it. And, well, that's not even a good word, but you see what I'm doing, right? So we've avoided opening booster packs for this graded 10 Awakened Psychic King First Edition Tyranitar. We could go out there and go buy packs of Awakened Psychic King to try and pull that guy, but who's to say that those packs are safe, or that the person who opened the previous box already knows what came out, or, you know, that maybe they already know the centering's bad, maybe they already know, maybe they already metal detected or some crap like that. There's just so much of that stuff. All right, so here we are. I only buy boxes and slabs now. Yeah, I like slabs a lot personally. Big slab collector here. I think that the market has proven that you can actually skip collecting boxes and just go straight to collecting chase cards. And why would that surprise anybody? Because it's like, why do you think that the booster box has any value? Well, it only has value because people are chasing a card in the box. That's why. Sarah, I wonder if you have enough for another trade spot. Would you be interested in another trade spot, Sarah? Because this baggie's getting pretty full. Do you want this? I don't think you want that rocket card, to be honest with you. I suspect you are not a big fan of that. Like, it's not keeping you awake at night. Like, oh my God, I pulled the rocket card. Look, I noticed you got some of these in here. You got some of this. You got some of this. Let's see. Oh, wow, dude, that's a great pull. Did so well on that Eevee. Here's a Duskull, I guess. I don't know what he's doing in there by himself. Here's some of these. You probably keep that Snorlax, or if you trade them in for maybe a little more than just a stack. There it is. All right, so if you wish, you probably have enough here to take on. There it is. All right, so you probably have enough here to take on another $5 if you're interested in the trade break. I'll steal your little salad. Yes, please. All right, so we'll trade this in. Let me get rid of this. All right, those have been gotten rid of. And we'll stuff these in a fresh baggie, I guess. Put it to my left. Look at you. So those are trade-ins. She's trading her holographics and EXs in and just turning them into spots in the trade break. Last trade break, Cody Hodges pulled the whole thing for $5. He got really lucky. Do I have a trade break bag? Wait, Sarah, the first time we did this, did we put you in a break bag? I feel like we might not have. Oh my god, dude. Hold on, wait a second. Let's see. Aha. So you should actually have 2 cards in here, not 1. Sarah, I think we forgot to do that the last time. Yes. Well, we're going to correct that now. All right. Oops. I must be getting sleepy. We're 3 hours into the stream, actually, if you guys noticed that. We're pretty far in. All right, so this is up to 2 now. 2 out of 14. 12 spots remain. All right. Let's see. Hey, what's up, Cali Hero? How's it going, man? I bought a few singles lately just because I like the art. No plans to grade them. But yeah, buying the slabs and sitting on them for a few years is the real move. Yeah, I agree, man. So now we got... Let's see. Bedtime. It's getting closer. What's this for Mr. Mark? He says 2 more of the 151, 4 more of the Blue Sky Stream. Did we already service that? I think we might have. No. Is this fresh, Mr. Mark? Order number 3628. 2 more of the 151, 4 more of the Blue Sky Stream. I think that's new. So here is the 151s. 1, 2. Okay. And the Blue Sky Streams. The sun's coming for us. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it is. Da 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 da. Here comes the sun. Pew, 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 pew. All right, let's get this snipe. Snipey wipey time. Snipping this. Snipping this. Here comes the snipe. Mark. We've got almost star. Mark. Charmander. All right. No mega snipe in here. Wow. Mark, I was rooting for you the whole night. Here's a Toxtricity. Here's a code one. Here's a... Oh, there you have it. All right. So your plan finally worked. You have sniped the SR. What's crazy is there could be 2 SRs in this box. So just like you had a cold box the previous one, this could be a double hit box, but you won't know until the box is over. But it might not be worth it to keep digging in there. Now, that's all good. Are you happy? You know, what's good about it is it's also a Rayquaza. Thank heavens. Okay. Just popping that in there. It's good to know he's in there. I feel like it would have been dissatisfying not to get that. Ki Hyun Ro, he's got a big one. He says an OP15 box. All right, let me go get a fresh box of OP15. Here we are. Okay. Put this one back. Good. Here goes. I wonder if I could get a new case of Mega Dream in here and put the Mega Dream back on the menu. Okay. Here's this. All one of these. This is for my friend, Mr. He wants to try it out. Oh, really? Oh, that's cool. Okay. So this is his box, and he's probably giving you money to open it up. Is that right? All right. Good. Put this here and put this here. Mister, any slabs for my store credit? You have a $25 store credit. I don't know if I have any $25 slabs casually lying around. I mean, that's a really low amount. You could use that money to get a live custom. Maybe you'd pull a big slab. It's a risk, though, that you might miss. He is full Korean and cannot speak English. Oh, very cool. How do I say something cool in Korean to him? You are? I don't know how to pronounce it phonetically. Whoa, look at that. So that's his pull. All right, beautiful. Let's sleeve it up. There you go. Here's a hollow. Let's see if there's a double hit in the box. Here's a hollow. Here's a hollow. Here's a hollow. Here's this guy. And here's this guy. And here's a hollow. There's a hollow as well. That's also a hollow. Come on, double hit. How about a double hit? No. Double hit time. No. This could be a double hit. No. How about this one? Nope. Or this one. Oh, we've got red-haired girl. All right, very nice. Tossing this over here. Ugh. Throwing this away. What we got? We got a hollow. That's an SR. That Brook. Yeah, you got a Brook, huh? All right, there we have it, all done. And should I mark this bag as separate from your other bags? There we go. So here are his pulls. Oh, cool, man. Cool. I can call this baggie Roki Hyun Friend. Okay, so this is the Roki Hyun Friend bag. It's marked Friend so that you guys know whose stuff is whose. There it goes. How clever. I'm so clever. Yeah, get your friend in this break right here. All right. We got to wrap it up now here. Matthew Rodriguez is back, and he says, 1 Nibble Brown Dust. No bulk. Thank you. I'll ship soon. Sorry for the bags. You're good. Okay, let's grab the Nibble Brown Dust. Boop. 1 box of Nibble Brown Dust. Appreciating Nibble Arena. Pretty affordable version of brown dust. Okay. There it goes. Good. Macking that. All right. Snipping this. Nibble Arena. Snipping this. All right. And snipping this. Very good. Popping that back over there. Throwing this away. What do we got? Here's a hollow. Whoa. And a hollow. No bulk, he said. Whoa! I see seashells by the seashore. Here's the rainbow stripper girl or whatever the heck she is, because that's a lot of boobs. Ice Queen. She's just an icy woman. Whore man. Here's a hollow. Here's a hollow. That girl's like holding her boobs. Here's Bunny Girl. She's the Energizer Bunny. Goth Girl, Booby Mama. Okay, here's Cool Electro Blade Girl. Seems like the artwork set is not terribly large. It's kind of interesting, isn't it? So then you're really just kind of busting through the set to get to the signature, aren't you? That's why you say you don't want any of the bulk. Whoa! There you go. If you don't want the hollows, you can say so. Maybe that's what he means by no bulk, because we always remove the bulk. Here's Bunny Girl. See, you got the Bunny Girl twice already. Here's Girl with Butt Showing. Okay. Cowgirl. There it is. I don't know. What am I looking at? Aha! We've got Levia. So here's Levia, the techno girl or something. All right. You might get another signature out of here. I've seen double Siggies. Holographic Girl by the Beach. Seashell Girl. It's Little Mermaid. Whoa. Okay, here's this. And here's this. All right, very good. That's Matthew Rodriguez. Thank you, Matthew. We are a prolific Booby Girls channel. We open a lot of waifu cards. I love it. I think it's great. There we go. We'll grab some of these. We're going to have more and more of these kinds of cards. I happen to think that boobs make the world go round. So you pull these two cards. Almost looks like a similar character, but they're not. You know, they really don't do a difference in the body design. The outfits are different, but the generally you're talking about wide hips and huge pale-skinned boobies. You can toss the hollows. I thought that's what you were implying, so I couldn't figure that out. All right. Wait a second. You keeping these hollows. Okay, you want to keep these. There you have it. I thought you might have been saying that. Mr. Matt. Thanks, Matt. Appreciate that. Okay. Boop, 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 boop. Boop. Order number 3,630. He says, 2 more Japanese, 151. Then can you keep these sealed? 4 ancient roar. Can my bag be added to my box set for shipping? If too heavy, can you take some for trade break? Okay, so hold on. Let me read this for a second. So, Mark, you sent in $5. And then he says, 2 more Japanese, 151. So the $5 might have been a typo. And then he says, keep these sealed. 4 ancient roars. Can my bag be added to my box set for shipping? Now, what does that mean? I don't know what that means. My box set. Are you saying you have a booster box? Let's see. My box set. Hollows are trade break tickets. That's right. What was I going to say, though? I'm a little confused with the request. Did you also have a booster box for me to ship for you? So to ship a booster box, it basically just costs a little more money to ship that booster box. And yeah, so basically you would add like $5 more to the shipment. Also, we are short for the packs you wanted there. Standby paying, and I shipped yesterday, but I don't think it went out. That's correct. So we still have a bag for you, and we've been adding to it all night. And what I don't know is, what did you mean by my box set? Are you saying you also have a box that needs to be shipped? Because if you do, I need to know that so I can make the label much heavier. Decimal error. Yeah. Here we go. All right, so 2 more of these. All right, we need a new box of 151. You correct that. I'll go get that box of 151. we are just flying through 151. I think it's time to do a price check on it. Make sure that we're keeping up with the price. All right. All right. Yeah, we've been adding your purchases to your shipping bag the whole time tonight, so you're good on that. Let's see. Wow, you could buy a case of these. So I'm going to go with this one in the US. They're pretty pricey. Divided by what? 20? Isn't it 20? I think these are divided by 20. Okay. Tossing that out. I remember when they first came out, I made an error on the pricing where I priced them as if there were 30 per box. Huge mistake. All right, they are 20. Whoa, these get really expensive then. So I'm gonna bet we're about to really dramatically change the price from what you've been buying it at, Mr. Mark. Mark's been buying it at actually, no. So it looks like, to me, it looks like the price stays the same. Is that right? Pokemon Japanese, 151 booster pack, $23. Let me make sure that the website's up to date. Okay, we're going to say 151. Boom. All right. Yeah, the website's correct at $23. So that will just stay the same then. All right. And you've been ordering this for a little while, huh? You know, Mark, I never actually ever tested this. Let's see. I just assumed you did it right the whole time, which you probably did. Okay, so that's Blue Sky Stream, and Blue Sky Stream costs what? Boop, 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 boop. All right, let's see. So the math is off on this one. What were you charging yourself for the this whole time for the 151? So 4 Blue Sky Stream would be $20. Because they're 4 times 5, that's 20. And then 2 of the 151s is 46. 46 plus 20. So this order should have been 66, but it was 58. So you were $8 short on that. You are. You know, I should have tested that a long time ago because you've been sending in custom payments. All right, so that's 1. What about number 2? I gotta start telling people no custom payments because we gotta make sure that the math is right on these, and it does take some work to do the math. You know, it's kind of funny because the website will do the math for you. You just pick the product out. So it's 23 plus 23 plus 5 times 3. So this order, order number 3,627 is short by $12. So you're short by 12 on that order. And then here's order number 3,626. So what did you think that the Ancient War was? Let's see what the Ancient War is. Ancient War is pretty cheap. It's $4. So let's try this one. Let's see. Plus 25. This order is cheap. This order is underpriced as well. So order number 3,626 should be 23 plus 23 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 25, which comes out to 87, but you sent in 69. So that's 18 short. I remember when Mr. said he stocked up big on Japanese 151. Glad it was worth it. All right, so we got to do some price checking on some of these orders. Hold on. I'm really tired, so I'm not going to do it right now. All right, let's see. All right. Sorry, set down card and couldn't find her. Order has no note, says Mr. Carp. Mr. Carp. All right, let me hit refresh. So Mr. Mark Kaplan, there's been some miscalculations on all of the orders tonight. How much did you think that the 151 packs were? They were $23 per pack. What were you doing, the Matt? You are? Actually, it was kind of surprising to me that you were buying so many of them. They're one of my most expensive boosters. Let's see. I should have checked it. Why didn't I do that? I gotta check people's orders really consistently from here on out, because we had this exact same thing happen with Pacalo Matt the other night. 19. They're $23 a pack. So every order that you placed was $4 off. And then here, let me go through these. So the 151s are $23 per pack. Ancient Roar is $4 a pack, and Matchless. Blue Sky Stream is $5 a pack. So it's not cheap at all. It's $5 a pack. So a whole box would be $150. So this means if you were placing all those orders at older prices, like I don't know where you would have gotten those from, but those are from a while back probably. But if you're placing all those orders at the wrong price, they all have to be updated before I can ship your bag, okay? Oh man, I need some more Japanese. 151. Yeah, it's a good set. It's a really good set. All right, so you will need to take a look at that on your side, and I will also take a look at it on my side, but not right now because I got to go to bed. But I'm going to pause on the amount you just sent. So you just sent, we're going to get this all sorted out, okay? It's a lot of work, actually. There's a lot of math that's needed. You know, what's funny is you're using the website. So you're sending in these custom orders when all you had to do was actually just purchase the orders like normal, like just pick the packs out, and the website would do all the math for you. So that's the funny part. So you sent in enough for, looks like $52. So we're going to say orders number 360, 3631, and 3630, and it's going to say $52, and it's going to say don't open yet. Okay, so that's what we're going to say. So I'm going to put the bag together for you, at least, so that no one else can open these. So we're going to kind of protect them for you. We are. So 4 Ancient Wars. It is. I thought that was same as PayPal because my website orders used to get skipped more frequently. Crap, how can you count how many I bought total? I could. I probably am going to, or maybe I'll have Tammy do it, but I can't do it right now. I've got to go to bed in like 5 minutes. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there we are. So place it over there. Actually, does it tell you your previous orders? It is. I don't know what you're able to see from your side. All right, so what I'm doing for you, I'm reserving these for you, okay? These are reserved. So we'll go ahead and reserve this. But it says don't open yet because almost all your orders need to be fixed now because you were underpaying for the 151 packs by $4. There we go. And then I'm assuming you might have been underpaying the other 2 packs too. I don't know. I thought that was the same as PayPal because my orders used to get skipped more frequently, like during the direct amount it does. So you were sending something called a custom order, which just lets you send in the amount you want. and then you can leave a note. But you know, you can just also you can just choose the booster packs you want, and the website will do the math for you if you just pick the or if you pick like the actual product off the shelf. You know what I'm saying? All right. Blue Sky 5. Yeah, Blue Skies are $5 and Ancient Roar is $4. And you placed an awful lot of orders. My other concern is how many days have you been placing these orders? So if I click on Mark, there we go, and search all orders by Mark, because you ordered plenty tonight, but how long have you been doing this? So let's see. So this was last time. This was July 18th, and this was for Ancient Roar. Okay. So you were ordering different stuff on the 18th. Oops, I didn't want to click on that. I think this was my first go round on the 151. Oh, thank heavens. That's good. That is good to hear. Well, here's one on, is this July 10th? No, that's a while back. Hold on. No, this is July 18th. Here it is. So on July 18th, you ordered one. And there you go. Okay, so maybe it's just the one. All right. And then there's 8 pages. Let's see what's going on over here. I haven't changed the 151 price in a long time. We must have placed it at, you know, $23 a while back. So all your orders are custom orders, huh? So what if we were to just test a, what if we were just to test randomly this one order from July 10th? How would this look? Hold on, wait a second. So you don't even list the number of packs on that one. Give me a second here. So if you're going to order packs, it's really important to keep up with the price changes, if there are price changes. So if you had like an old number in your head from a while back, you got to know that we do update our pricing from time to time, usually month by month. Let's see. We don't want to test that. All right, so yeah, you've ordered a lot. Let me jump to the front here. I think I was going off Terra Festival. Some of the stuff did go up during buying the right. 151 did not, but I don't know about the other stuff. All right, so I got to go to bed. It's 6 a.m. I got to go to bed no matter what, guys. Let's see what we had remaining. We had an order from Alex Garcia. He said 3 OP16 English. Alex Garcia, you got it, man. 3 OP16s. Here they are. Ready? Oh, yeah. Okay. So, new rule. Pacalomat placed a ton of orders where he did not properly do the math on the orders. And I didn't test them. And I'm pretty sure I lost probably over 100 on that situation. I don't know how much I truly lost because I didn't want to go through all those orders. And then we're having something kind of like that here. So from now on, I have to test it. It has to definitely be tested at some point. Here's Sakazuki. Here we are. I got to be much tougher on it. All right. I'll do a deep dive on it. Did you say those yesterday at 19.2? So the 151s have been $23 for a long time now. So they were not price changed for a while. Yeah, the 151s have been at 23 for a while. Actually, I thought I was going to raise the price tonight, but it looked like we didn't need to. But the Blue Sky streams are 5. Those have been at 5 for a while. And the Ancient Roars are 4. I don't know if you messed up on those at all, but there you go. So it's 23, 5, and 4, okay? All right, so let me put this into Alex Garcia's bag. Here you go, Mr. Alex. There we go. I was buying them at 19 yesterday. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, I hear you. Yeah, it's my own fault for not testing it occasionally. I should have made you more aware that we got to test those. All right. Notice that I did actually test it. I just waited a long time to test it. I shouldn't have waited so long. Yeah, it's my job to test the orders to make sure that they're, like I usually trust people to just do the math. And then what I'll do is I'll audit it occasionally. And I should audit it more frequently to make sure that that doesn't happen. All right. There it is, guys. I'm hopping off. I'm hopping off for the Saturday nighttime stream. I'll see you guys for the Sunday stream. See you later, everybody.